This is Steve, Uncle Creepy Barton, and you're going bump in the night with Earthling Entertainment. Stay creepy, kids.
Prepare yourself for Earthling Entertainment, the perfect blend of paranormal and pop culture, with your host, Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Earthling Entertainment with your hosts, Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
That's right, and I'm your host who woke up with a dead face hugger on his pillow this morning, Joe Wakefield.
And I'm the one who put it there. Hi, I'm Ryan. Are you feeling the chest thing yet?
Yeah, a little indigestion, I'd say, for sure.
Excellent. I'm going to be rich.
Oh, wow. So, guys, if you are returning listeners, thank you so much, and please remember to download the episode, because downloading the episode is the best way to support the show.
Yeah, thank you guys. And if you feel so inclined, leave us a review as well. That helps out too.
But if you are a new listener, you're new to the show, you might be wondering, what is it we do here? What is this show all about?
Strapping guys, because he's going to tell you.
That's right. What we do here is a little bit of the spooky, a little bit of the creepy. Sometimes it's cryptozoology. Other times it's a haunting, a myth, or a legend. But it's always spooky.
Oh my God.
And that's why it's in our first section called Spooky Stuff. That is, of course, followed by another thing we like to call Disclosure Discussion. Now, that one's all about aliens.
Hey, I'm just asking questions about extraterrestrials and UFOs. Any new video that comes out, we're going to talk to you guys about, let you know. We're going to talk about some old stuff today. This was from 1996.
Ooh, wow. Well, that's always fun. And then the second half of the show, the latter half, if you will, is all dedicated to pop culture and entertainment. Now, sometimes we have celebrity guests. We've had audio dramas. We sometimes play quiz games. There's usually some kind of genre news, and we're always just pop culturing it up. That's what we do here.
A little bit of nerdy stuff in there, a little nerdy spice. We talk about different franchises that we are obsessed with.
Yeah, and then those two halves of the show. The first part, which is paranormal.
Okay.
The second part, which is pop culture.
Got it right here.
Come together and form a delicious moon pie of a podcast known as Earthling Entertainment. Welcome.
Welcome indeed, guys. We are on episode 105, which is wild. This is crazy.
It is crazy. And you know what? As things have moved forward, we've been able to get more and more celebrity guests. And actually, we have one this week, Steve Barton. So,
That's right.
Yeah, so Steve Barton, you would know him as the man who's pretty much, he didn't create Art the Clown, but he's the reason why anyone knows who Art the Clown is.
Tell us so.
You know what? We're going to save it for the interview, but that's coming up just at the beginning of the second half of the show. But before that, Ryan, you look a little jet lagged to me.
I had a great couple of flights coming from a 6-day cruise, my first cruise.
Yeah.
And it was fun. There was a lot going on there. And it was just a new experience. I got the drink package.
Oh, this wasn't Carnival. What was it?
This was Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean. Yes.
And so it was my first time on a cruise ship, and I enjoy my beers, Joe, let me tell you.
Oh, I never noticed.
So I got the drink package along with my girlfriend. And so I couldn't help myself because there's just so many people that are coming up through that work on the ship, a great crew who are just coming up being like, drinks, you need a drink. So I finally just being like, my man, to every time they came by, which I got from Rick and Morty in the simulation episode. And so just anytime I was just, my man. And
they come over with a Ryan's order. I'm
telling you, by day 4 or 5, everywhere I went, I would just hear people, my man, Ryan, what's up, Ryan? My man. It's because I am a little inebriated and I am just having fun on this deck of the ship. There were so many cool people.
Ryan's a social person, okay? This is what you need to say. And Ryan's a social drinker. If he won't start any hostility. So if there's just good, fun-loving people, he'll talk your ear off.
Oh my gosh, and I did. And we actually, if you guys are listening right now, if I just met you, Thanks for tuning in because of course I'm going to tell everybody about the podcast and about what we do. And it was just, everybody was just so cool. And there was just a lot to do.
Yet you didn't bring a single flyer
I
or a
didn't.
single sticker.
I did bring
We
a
have-
stack of stickers, like a small stack of stickers, and I forgot them in my cabin every time.
Okay, well, what about the bottle openers? We had Frisbees, Ryan.
I know. I should have grabbed a bunch. That would have been a great thing. But honestly, it was just so fun. And I actually got some dirt, Joe. So
Okay, yeah.
so we're coming out of Cozumel, and we hear this announcement like, "Hey, we're leaving so and so, blah blah blah. Get back to the ship." And I'm just like, that doesn't sound good. So we couldn't help but like start asking a lot of our new friends and like the smoking area, because
like,
we're all
what's
smoking
going
cigarettes
on?
and the tea's being spilled all over the deck. So we're talking about what the heck's going on. So we hear the announcement. It's a woman's name, and
Okay.
she's being called back to the ship because we're leaving. We are leaving Cozumel.
Okay.
And she had a husband on board. And so now I heard through the tea, like I said, I had to hear this because rumors just abound on a boat. It's just
Yeah.
us. And it wasn't that big of a boat. Honestly, it was a smaller one. So word spreads quick. And so I hear that at first they were like, "Sir, where's your wife?" So, you know what I mean? They're like kind of like questioning, like, why is she not here and you're here? But then they looked through the paperwork and they saw he didn't get off the boat, which is what he was saying, to be fair. But to be fair, if you're going to kill your wife, maybe you wouldn't say it. But
Fair
so
enough,
he
fair
was
enough.
like, hey, so they find out, nope, she checked out of the boat on her own and this and that. So they find out now. They didn't find
So
out.
she was missing, and they questioned the husband. They're like, "Did you throw her ass off the boat?"
Yes.
Okay.
And then it was found that no, she checked out. She did everything right, but he did not. He stayed on deck. So then I find out through the tea that they're all like, wait a minute, was it this woman, this woman? So everyone's kind of like decided, like, who's not here?
Yeah.
Like,
Because, like you said, it's not the biggest boat in the world. You might be able to narrow it down.
and we kind of were, and we were kind of able to. And this one couple like chimed in on our conversation that we were having while spilling the tea, being like, "Oh, we saw her arguing with a taxi driver, like straight up,
Okay.
like screaming at this taxi driver." And so I can't help but put two and two together and be like, "Man, she might have gotten arrested."
Or kidnapped or something?
I don't think kidnapped. She just doesn't fit it. Just being polite, the type that would be kidnapped. She was, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm trying to be polite here. And but no.
She seemed a little belligerent.
Yes, and I don't think that anyone would care to, have her be captured by them. So like
Okay, fair enough.
But long story short, I'm sure she's okay. Chances are she got arrested.
So you don't even know.
No, I have no idea.
So this guy's wife is just missing.
And we were typing it in. We were Googling it when we got back because we were like, maybe there's some, I didn't see any news stories about it. So chances are it's all good. She just screwed up, got a little drunk, didn't get back to the ship on time. And we took off because, yes, it was said from people who had heard that, oh, yeah, they basically approached him and was like, we got to go. We got to go. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, we're leaving your wife.
Did
Did he get off?
He stayed on the boat.
I would have got off.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
I'm
I
just going to
agree.
leave my wife in a foreign land.
Well, thank you.
Even if I was mad at her.
That was my thoughts as well, where it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna stay in Cozumel because I gotta find Nancy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't want to be morbid or creepy, but like, what if something happened? Was he not like, I mean, I know you don't have the answers here, but was he not even worried? Just like, she does this all the time. You should see when she got arrested in Jamaica. Like, what is the going on?
From what I heard, he was distraught, but he stayed on the ship, which is wild to me.
Oh man, maybe he's one of those people who is not the assertive one in the relationship because she is so strong, and he was just too much of a, for lack of a better term, wuss to get off on a foreign land that he was unaware of. I don't know.
I
He
took
didn't
it,
even get off the boat.
yeah, I took it as just a go do your thing, hon. I'm gonna stay on the ship, like, you know what I mean? Like, not a huge deal. And but other than that, everybody was safe. Everyone had a good time.
Hold on, Ryan. I want to propose to you that maybe This is the beginning of a straight-to-video sequel, a 4th installment in the Taken series. And this gentleman, unbeknownst to you, is the Liam Neeson character who is now currently, while we're sitting here recording this, going off and fighting a bunch of sex traffickers
I really
to
hope
get his
not.
wife back.
I really hope not. 'Cause I forget what the documentary is called, but it's on Netflix. It's one of the newer ones about a woman who was taken off of a cruise, and it was absurd. It was crazy.
Okay, see, me, I'm going like fun action movie. You're going like actual human drama and suffering. You got to have a lighthearted view of the
felt-
storytelling here, Ryan.
I need to, but unfortunately, you know what I mean? Like, there's some dark stuff out there, but on a lighter side. But for real, though, it was a lot of fun. It was crazy.
How much of it do you remember?
A good amount.
For
a
how
good
much
amount.
you drank?
I made sure to drink a water bottle like in between every couple drinks. You know what I mean? Like, you got to take care of yourself. You're out in the sun, middle of the ocean.
Sure,
And
sure.
something that reminds me of that I was when I was looking for spooky stuff today, I couldn't help but have this monster catch my eye, and it was literally called the Carnival Cruise Monster.
Ooh, please tell.
And I swear to gosh, I freaking swear to gosh, I have heard about this.
I swear to gosh. Wait,
I
so
know,
it's
as much
like
as I swear on this podcast,
Yeah.
I felt like God was too far.
that's like tripping and being like cheese and rice.
So, the Carnival Cruise Monster was an unidentified creature spotted off the Gulf of Mexico on the deck of a cruise liner of a Carnival cruise. And it was initially investigated by author Max Hawthorne, who coined the phrase Carnival Cruise Monster.
I mean, it wasn't a hard leap.
Right. Right. So
He's not the most creative guy, apparently.
So the strange animal was observed by Paul George and a small crowd while on a Carnival cruise ship in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. The creature seemed to be calm in demeanor and was observed swimming beside the ship around 30 seconds before it took a breath and dove back underwater, but it was only observed once. Like, that's literally all I've got. There is a description here. Said that it was an unidentified creature witnessed by Paul George, a worker on a Carnival Cruise Line ship.
Is it just one guy?
Yes.
It's the goddamn shreem again.
Yep, it's the shreem again. That's why I
The
figured.
shrimp.
So only the main body and the head of the creature was ever seen or described. It was black and shiny with a tight, thick, leathery skin. I know what you're thinking, a whale. According to him, it didn't breathe through a blowhole like a whale. Instead, it surfaced and breathed more like a crocodile would.
Well, a giant crocodile would be freaking horrifying.
It
You know what's kind of crazy though, Ryan?
What?
What you're describing, we actually have a different story that we're covering later in the show under our Real World Weird.
Okay.
A couple of surfers saw a creature that is surprisingly similar to the one you're describing.
It's Mosasaurus, bro.
I don't know, but continue.
So it was described to be at least 50 feet and larger than the ship's lifeboats, which are around 30 feet, though Paul described it as whale-sized. He said it wasn't thin and long like a whale would be. I mean, he would have seen one, right? He works on a cruise liner.
I mean, you think someone working on a boat would be well aware of what sea creatures looked like.
So he said it had a thick and powerful neck and was a broad animal. So that really is different than a whale.
Yeah, but even a giant crocodile, if that was how it was being described, is kind of long, right? It's long and skinny.
Right.
Even if it's huge. So when you just said it was really wide, do you think it was kind of like maybe like a giant stingray or something?
Could be something like that, right? That could be one. That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that because they are out there and they're huge. They're crazy looking. But like, it sounded to me like this dude was like, I work on this cruise and I've seen all sorts of sea creatures that stood out.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like, so he couldn't describe it. I don't know. It just, I came across that and I wanted to talk about it since I knew we were going to talk about the cruise. And that's honestly all I've got. You know what I mean?
That's perfect, man.
So, like, watch out when you're out there. Keep your eye open because you never know, dude. It's the most unexplored alien world we got, and it's right here.
There's so many places where humans should not be. You know, we just simply are not equipped to live as ocean creatures. And everything is, well, I shouldn't say everything, but there's so many things that are bigger than us. And I don't want to live. I don't want to be in the ocean, Ryan.
You know, you fall
Did you
down.
see anything yourself?
No, we saw a couple
Like a
stingray.
whale?
We
Okay.
saw a couple stingray. We saw a lot of gar. Whenever we
What the hell's
were,
a gar?
it's a really thin, long fish.
Huh?
And because we even identified them using like the Google imagery.
Gar.
Yeah, it's a gar.
Gar.
And they were just
oh my
hanging
God,
out.
that's how pirates got it.
Oh,
Yeah, they're like, shiver me timbers, look a gar.
gar.
Okay, that's dumb.
And then
I
just
know.
no, that was not dumb. Well done, well done. Astute observation, Joe.
Connecting the dots. That's what we do here at Earthling Entertainment.
That's
We
right. Don't
connect
you worry,
the
guys. We got you.
Yeah.
But no, had a great time. Thanks for asking, Joe. It was a blast. So if you guys do a cruise, let us know if you see the monster of the ocean or any other monsters, because I'm curious.
Ooh.
Any sirens singing you to shore?
Well, you know what, man? Monsters are kind of the topic of a lot of our spooky stuffs, including this week. So it's actually a perfect transition to say, let's move away from the ocean, go down to South America, and talk about a Brazilian cryptid on this week's Spooky Stuff.
The Capelobo is a vampiric creature from Brazilian myth, particularly in the states of Para and Maranhão. Their name, Capelobo, is a mix of two words. Cape, from an Amerindian word meaning broken bone, and the Portuguese lobo, meaning wolf.
Not to be confused with Lobo, the DC character, which is going to be played by Jason Momoa and is a crazy alien rocker who's coming to destroy the world with anarchy, which will be the villain in the new Supergirl movie. None of that matters. Back to this.
It matters to me. Among cryptozoologists, Capelobo is sometimes regarded as a synonym for the Mapinguari, and Dale A. Drennan uses the term wolfskins to refer to Amazonian ground sloths. According to David Oren, the Kayapo are so afraid of their version of the Mapinguari that they have set aside a region of forest as a reservation for it. So they truly believe in these things.
That'd be kind of cool, though, if like a part of Oregon or Washington was sectioned off, being like, nope, that's Bigfoot territory.
I mean, I wouldn't even put it past it right now.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
A lot of sightings. These creatures have two forms: quadrupedal animal and humanoid. In animal form, they appear similar to a tapir, but they are larger, faster, and thinner. They have a shaggy coat of black fur and a snout that appears similar to an anteater's or a pig's. They are hairy and very ugly.
And that is actually one of the best ways to kind of imagine this creature. Imagine an anthropomorphic standing up on 2 feet with arms, anteater head. You know, like almost like a werewolf anteater, if there was another way of describing it.
And very muscular in
Yeah.
a lot of these photos.
You know, it's funny because it's like every creature that's like, opposing, they always try to make them ripped.
Dude, he's ripped,
like,
dude.
This guy's fucking jacked.
So it is not clear how the Capelobo transforms from animal to human form, or if it's not a matter of transformation at all. But they are clearly separate. The humanoid form of these creatures is muscular with a human body and an anteater's head. They maintain their thick, matted coat of fur, and in addition are covered head to toe with nigh impenetrable skin, even hunched. They are 6'7" tall.
Okay. Well, that's imposing, to say the least. Yeah.
Their front claws are similar to those of Tamandua, a kind of small anteater. However, their feet have a set of perfectly round hooves, or no feet at all, that leave an imprint in the ground not unlike a bottle, making them difficult to track.
Okay, so no feet at all. So like their legs are sticks that just kind of point into the ground kind of thing?
Yeah,
Like
just like
chopsticks
stumps.
legs? Like no actual...
Yeah,
Huh.
like that's a good way to put it. Yeah, chopstick legs.
Yeah.
Like in a weird way.
Yeah, like if you were trying to track someone who was on pogo sticks.
Gar. They got a
Gar.
peg leg.
Maybe.
Another notable feature of the Capelobo is its unearthly stench, so powerful that it is said that it can always be surrounded by a cloud of flies.
All right.
The Capelobo can stun with its foul stink, and even those who survive the encounter will get headaches and dizziness for several days to a month. It is also known for its shrill screams, which can be heard for 10 miles and are powerful enough to bring even the hardiest of hunters to their knees and completely paralyze with fear.
Yeah, I mean, anything that makes a crazy scream, even if it's a natural scream, if I hear like squirrels make weird sounds, man, you could freak me out. But let me ask you about this. If it has this stench, right?
Right.
Is it like a shrew where it's like a scent gland, you think, that it like expels as like a defense mechanism? Or do you think it's just, for lack of a better word, dirty? If it just does it stink itself, or is it like an actual like ink from a squid or stink gland from a shrew? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a natural chemical warfare against its enemies, right? So it's like,
Yeah, or is it just like, oh, it smells like a wet dog?
I'm leaning more towards its actual defense mechanism. Like it's immune to it, but it's just like something that it has just learned that, oh no, if I give off this stench, over evolution of this creature, that it can even be more formidable.
I mean, it kind of implies that it could kill you with its stink, because it's like, if you survive, you'll be dizzy and puking.
That's true. Yeah, it could literally. It stinks so bad you die.
Can you imagine something that stunk so bad you could die?
I can.
I mean,
I work in auto plants. I can.
Oh, I was gonna make a joke about children, but I guess you win.
Oh yeah, stinky folk.
Is it like, wait, what's the deal with auto plants? Is it like burnt rubber?
Because the
Is it
workers.
metal?
No, it's the workers.
Oh my God, the
Yeah,
people smell.
The people smell. A lot of the
Well,
people
You're in
smell.
a hot factory assembly line. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's formidable. It leaves me dizzy.
These are the times I'm happy I went a different way in my work.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Computers rarely stink. When heard in the distance, they can bewilder hunters and travelers, causing them to become lost and sometimes mad. However, they may.
Fuck am I?
What the fuck?
I'm not gonna ask for directions, Tina.
But you probably should.
Shut up.
It's just like this is.
I
just
know
like,
where I am.
Just like the last
I'm
time.
not lost.
Oh, don't let me get in your way.
Where's some ants? I'm gonna eat them.
Do it, Dan. Go ahead. Who am I to get in your way?
I'm so ripped.
He is. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's the only reason. To be fair, Tina's really, really attractive. I'm just throwing it out there.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
And she has a BA in social sciences.
That's right. That's right. I do. I worked hard for it. However, they may also make a softer and less dangerous sound that sounds not unlike someone blowing over the top of an empty bottle. How soothing.
I know.
Their thick hide and fur act as a sort of armor, and even bullets bounce off their hides.
That's a tight ass.
Tight as they come. They can only be killed by a blow to the navel, which it's hidden by its fur.
Wait,
So
so
it's
this
hard
thing
to
can be
get to.
killed by raspberries?
Yes.
Who's a good little monster?
And spear.
Oh shit, it's dead.
Some say it can also be killed with a direct shot to the eye.
Most
And-
things can.
And some accounts even claim that it must be done with a spear for both the eye and navel.
Ah, well, yeah. I mean, if you impale someone with a spear, they usually die. So
That'll do it.
touche.
While predatory, Capelobo do not actively hunt humans. They prefer dogs, cats, and goats, especially the newborns. However, if they can manage to capture a human, they will grab them tightly and suck their brains out through the top of their skull as if it were devouring termites in a mound.
That is such a left turn from what I expected that thing to do. Because it's got an anteater mouth, right? So now I'm imagining like one of those. Oh, you know what's perfect is the film in 1997, Starship Troopers,
Yes.
where at the end the brain bug stabs a dude in the head and like sucks out his brains.
His brains out.
I'm imagining that, except it's more of like a suction cup around his head going.
It reminds me of Antoine. Antoine was an anteater that my girlfriend met at a zoo where you can like pet crazy animals and stuff.
Okay.
And literally Antoine, she said, licked his whole tongue like underneath her foot, like underneath her like sandal, like all the way to the back.
I mean, they have long tongues.
They
Makes
got
sense.
long tongues, and apparently they're feet people.
Huh.
Just
you know
saying.
What, you know what else has a really long tongue?
Huh.
A woodpecker.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so a woodpecker has like this tongue that wraps around its own brain to be a shock absorber for when it, pecks wood.
You know what I mean? These woodpeckers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, I did see that
No,
diagram.
that's straight up zoology.
No, yeah, I saw the diagram of that. It's wild, guys. If you haven't seen that, look it up.
Gene Simmons ain't got shit on Woody.
That's
the
right.
woodpecker.
That's right.
The-
I was meant for loving you. Sorry. In some cases,
we don't have ADD.
they will sever the carotid artery instead and drink their victim's blood, or even just rip prey apart with their sharp teeth.
So many methods, but the goal is the blood is the thing to take home here.
They're rather violent.
Oh.
They are more likely to devour someone if they are foolish enough to hunt on a Sunday. Because I guess that's just one of those days.
I feel like it's a religious thing. It's always a religious thing.
There's
It's
a
a
little
God's day, so you get your brains sucked out, asshole. It's like eating fish. It's not eating fish on Friday.
That's right. It's getting your brains sucked out on Sunday.
I'm really trying not. No, just continue.
They have a ravenous appetite. And
Not
they,
too bad of an ass either.
And they hunt at night to appease their unending hunger. It is said these creatures are a sort of lycanthrope. However, rather than changing between forms, a human who has changed into a Capelobo has no hope of turning back. When a person is old and dying, if they choose to spend their last days in the woods, they will turn into one of these monsters.
That is awesome. I would look, dude, if I make it to 90, I always joked and said I'm going to try like meth or crack because fuck it, you're 90, you're going to die.
So go
Why
to
not?
Brazil.
I will go to Brazil and hang out in the woods and become like some weird werewolf sloth creature, like anteater guy. That is, and plus, think about it, you're 90, all of a sudden you're fucking ripped.
And out of nowhere, Joe's sucking my brains out of my head, just going, I chose this. And I'm like, I know you did, dude. I know, dude. I remember.
Why did that seem so weirdly creepy?
Because it is.
Just-
It's rather creepy. Like, here's my buddy Joe sucking my brains out. I knew it would happen.
That'll be
I
the
knew it
final episode of Earthling Entertainment. We're going to end with a bang, guys. A
Ending.
straight up murder.
It'll be mind blowing.
Oh. And anyone listening, obviously, that's a joke. We're not going to actually.
We'll see. Salivo Froze Abreu may have been the first to document tales of this creature on his expedition to Maranhão in the 1920s. The young scientist from Rio de Janeiro was there to study the potentially valuable babaçu palm, but he also tasked himself with observing the region's geography and the indigenous people who called the land home. The Guajajara people did not want to tell a stranger their legends. Abreu wrote in the Na Terra das Palmeiras in 1931. It was only with great difficulty that he learned about the feared beasts, which he called the Capelobo. As the 20th century progressed, anthropologists and folklorists would paint an even more terrifying portrait of the Capelobo. Sometimes it had only one eye and no mouth, other times only one leg, but it always had that piercing scream and insatiable appetite. Luis da Camara Cascudo, who would write some 8,000 pages on Brazilian folklore through the 20th century, described the creature as an evil being, a killing machine immune to all reason.
A little bit different then. They don't really bother humans, but they will.
They will.
They will.
There is one thing. Northern Brazil's indigenous people uniformly agree on the recorded tales. There is no safe way to encounter the monster. One must either hide from the Capelobo or become its prey.
Fair enough.
What do you think?
I think, like I said, when I'm 90, I'm moving down to Brazil. I like the idea of the last chapter of my life being a mystical creature. Now, of course, things could change. Maybe I have a thriving career, even though I'm old. I mean, what's his name? Clint Eastwood, still doing movies, and he's like 95 years old. He directed 2 movies in his 94th year. So who knows where I'll be at 90. But if I'm not directing or being in movies, bud, I'm going to go turn into a weird anteater creature.
Well, and what I liked about this story was, like it said, it was a synonym of the Mapinguari. Now, the Mapinguari are more legendary, more spiritual, and this and that. With the Capelobo, we're talking flesh and blood. We're talking something that's out there. Like, no matter what, that is a real thing. It's not, and not that spirits or anything like that isn't real, but I'm saying it's something furry and it's going to come up and get you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One version's metaphysical, the other one's physical.
Right. So Mapinguari is a whole section of these ground sloths, which have evolved into these muscular beings which hunt and kill and are a definite threat to human beings. So once I stumbled upon this one, I knew it was the one.
Well, Ryan, I kind of liked how you just were like, I'm on a Brazil kick. And I think my next thing, our disclosure discussion, will be about Brazil too.
That's true.
Yeah, so let's jump into that now.
Back in 1996.
On this week's
Disclosure discussion. Ha 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 ha. It's about aliens and stuff.
Brazilian extraterrestrial stories.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
Varginha, Brazil is a city of approximately 100,000 inhabitants in Minas Gerais, southeastern Brazil. In the afternoon of the 20th of January in 1996, a group of 3 women, ranging from 14 to 22 years old, claimed to have seen an unfamiliar bipedal creature crouching on a small, abandoned piece of land in the suburbs of the city, on this location especially. They described the creature as being about 5 foot tall, with a large head and a very thin body, brown and oily skin, V-shaped feet, large red eyes, and 3 protuberances on the top of its head. So, like, not like a horn, but like
ridges.
ridges.
Yeah, think Star Trek.
Yes. It seemed to be wobbly or unsteady, as if it was hurt or sick.
It could just be not used to our gravity.
Yes, I was thinking that as well. 2 of the girls, who were sisters, fled the location and told their mother that they had seen the devil. The mother initially obviously didn't believe them, but changed her mind when she visited the location afterwards and smelled a strong ammonia-like odor, saw the creature's footprints, and found a dog sniffing her all around the place.
Right on.
Trust
right
the
on.
dog.
Yeah. And it's funny because you say that ammonia odor. Well, that could be anything. It could be the creature's smell that it gives off itself. It could simply be the atmosphere that it comes from. You know what I mean?
Right.
What if it was just the gases it was breathing?
Or
Or
maybe-
exhaling, for that matter.
Or maybe it's alien pee.
It could be.
You never know.
It's not what I was going with it, but yes, it could be.
Cat pee is formidable. I'm just saying, and that's earthly.
Yeah, fair enough.
After the girls related the incident to family and friends, rumor began appearing throughout the city regarding UFO sightings and alien creatures being abducted by the military. 2 days later, another similar creature was allegedly found lying along the road. 3 military trucks were supposedly sent to retrieve it. Another alien of the same species was reportedly seen by the local zoo by its janitor. The following months, 3 animals mysteriously died.
Mm. Sounds like the janitor was trying to throw off his scent of his, backyard hunting play.
Oh no,
Yeah,
the plot thickens.
He was straight up eating gorillas. These 2 things were unrelated.
We love conspiracy on this podcast.
Right on.
On January 13th, 1996, Carlos de Souza was driving from Sao Paulo to Minas Gerais to meet some friends for a day of flying planes. During his journey, he observed a cigar-shaped object moving towards his direction. It turned out to be a UFO with a rear part damaged, suggesting it had been shot down. The UFO was flying 300 to 400 meters above ground and was losing altitude. Just before reaching the highway, it made a sudden 360-degree turn and flew in the opposite direction. It managed to glide for a few moments until its engine appeared to die, causing it to crash straight to the ground like a rock. Carlos decided to investigate the crash. He found that the UFO had landed near a small white house and was leaking a chemical that burned the grass in a 40-meter diameter around the crash site.
Maybe it smelled like ammonia.
Maybe it did. Wasn't mentioned. The craft was approximately the size of a school bus and had debris scattered around it. The area was filled with the smell of ammonia.
All right,
It
well, there you
is
go.
mentioned. My bad.
I fucking nailed it.
Carlos picked up a piece of debris that felt like aluminum foil, which he could crumple. But when thrown to the ground, it returned to its original shape.
That's the exact same thing that they described at Roswell.
Yes.
They talked about the the tinfoil type material that does that. Kind of like I always imagine the rescue blankets, the ones that are kind of like
Yes.
silvery plastic.
The thermal blankets.
That's what I always think of when I hear this story of this metal that is, we'll call it smart metal, right?
Yeah,
Like-
because it goes right back to how it's intended to be.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, they either borrowed that from the Roswell or it's a similar alien, similar story. It's so crazy to figure out these things. I love it.
Me too. Shortly after, the military arrived from the opposite direction, ordering Carlos to leave the area at gunpoint.
As the military does.
No problem.
Yeah. Is there ever a story of the military showing up and being like, hey guys, would you please leave? No problem if you don't.
Oh, well, I guess since you asked so nicely
Yeah.
without the whole gun thing.
Yeah.
So this incident remains a significant account of UFO sighting and crash, with notable physical evidence and military involvement. Naida, the local news reporter who handled the case, he was also a good friend of Marco Truess, the police commissioner in charge of the alien case. On a stormy day, as night fell, Nai received a report that some girls had seen a creature near Marqueos Gymnasium. Nai decided to investigate and found that the military had set up a blockade.
And I'm assuming those are the girls from the first part of this article.
I
right? This-
agree,
yeah.
yes. So when he approached, they told him he couldn't pass. When he asked why, they said it was a matter of national security. Nai insisted, saying that he was there on official business. But the soldier firmly repeated, no, you cannot pass. It's a matter of national security.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
Euslides and Kaledo, other news reporters working with Nai, went to interview the staff of the ESA at Tres Correcos, the hospital where the alien was being kept. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
They managed to ask one question to a sergeant who then went inside the room the alien was being kept in. Allegedly. When he came back out, he warned that if anyone asked another question, they would be arrested, effectively shutting down the press.
That's kind of funny because I'm just imagining like the goofiest question. Be like, hey, what's that guy's name? Goes in there. Hey, what's your name? Glocktar. Comes out. Don't ask any more questions.
Get him!
Like, what was
that man?
What was the question? Is all I'm saying. And also, why did he go into the room before coming out? Like, did he have a supervisor, or is there a higher ranking military officer in there who's just like, why are you coming in here and listening to reporters? Tell him to fuck off.
I love that you just said that, dude, because it just made me think it brings authenticity to the story. Because if you had just seen your first alien, right? You've never seen an alien. Now you're all of a sudden a part of a military construct trying to take care of this, keep from the public. You're not going to know what to say. You're
Fair
going to be in
enough.
shock. You're literally in shock.
Yeah. I guess keeping your composure is kind of part of it. It's like the people in England who are the royal guards who stand in front of Buckingham Palace and like
Yes.
won't move, won't blink, won't do anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, no, I feel like that brings some, like your point brings a lot to this because like it is an odd move for him, right? He's like, what do I say? Because all of his military training would have handled him otherwise, but he wasn't ready to encounter these creatures.
They taught me how to shoot. They didn't teach me how to reason.
So this incident highlights the challenges faced by local reporters in investigating the case and the stringent measures taken by the military to retain secrecy. So once again, this makes it a little bit more valid. 5 eyewitness accounts reported a strange creature to the fire department. The call was made around 8:30 a.m. When the fire department arrived, it took them 2 hours to eventually capture the creature. The creature kept running and hiding in the dense underbrush, making the creature more challenging.
You're never gonna find me.
Additionally,
I'm hiding in a bush.
I'm coming to get you.
You're never gonna get me.
I will. I'm a fireman. Gotcha.
In my head, that was Nick Swartzen, by the way.
Oh, yes, I like that. So, additionally, the terrain was steep and difficult to navigate to their, to help them out with how hard that was. After they caught the creature, one of the firemen radioed the commanding officer, Major Messiel, who arrived shortly after. Major Messiel arranged for the creature to be transported to the army. The creature was placed in a wooden box, covered in a tarp, and transported to the Army 8 Sergeant's Camp in Tres Caracos.
Dude, if he's not dead, that's horrifying. Can you imagine being thrown in a wooden box and thrown a tarp over you?
This sucks.
Yeah, just be scary, man. I mean, imagine you are an astronaut and you land on a planet because your ship breaks down, you crash. Now you're dealing with a species on an unfamiliar world. You get captured and they fucking nail you in a wooden box.
This can't get much worse.
It would feel very scary, confining.
Dude.
I mean, oof.
Yeah, I imagine that would be not fun. So it is believed that 2 creatures were captured at the time. One was captured in the morning and the second in the afternoon. The first creature was captured by the fire department after they received a call about a strange animal. In Brazil, the fire department is typically called to deal with dangerous animals, but when they arrived, they really didn't know what to do. They captured it using a stick with a rope at the end.
Like a dog catcher?
That's where my head,
man.
it's got to be one of those, right?
Yeah, that's humiliating. All the other aliens on the home planet are like, look at this jackass, Carl.
Like, man, you got me on the end of a stick.
Oh.
The second creature was captured by the military police near the intersection where the girls had seen the creature. A man named Marco Cherez captured it with his bare hands and took it to the military police.
Okay, so these things are not very strong, it sounds like.
The
I mean,
badass.
It kind of, well, yeah. I mean, I took down an alien with my bare hands. I'm reminded of Kevin Smith. I think it was Clerks 2, is he wrote in that film where Jay is like, see that boy? Dude fucked a Martian once.
That's right.
That
That's
quote
right.
always made me
Homeboy
laugh.
fucked a marsh.
Yeah, it always made me laugh. It's kind of the same thing. Like, it's like, Jim took down a freaking Martian with his bare hands, just manhandled him, took him down to the ground.
But maybe think twice before you do. After the incident, Marco developed a strange infection, believed to have been caused by the creature. Doctors were never able to figure out the problem. His body was covered in a greasy substance, and he developed an infection from which he never recovered.
Damn, that got really dark.
According to his sister, she was not allowed, and then he eventually died. Sorry, I should have put that in there.
I assumed, but he dropped dead. Yes, yeah.
According to his sister, she was not allowed to talk about Marco's death. His autopsy showed that he had a granular toxin, and his cause of death was inconclusive. Valeria, Marco's wife, also said that she couldn't get answers about her husband's death. When she asked for reports, the hospital demanded money for them. And when she finally received the reports, many pages were missing.
So don't tackle an alien. If you see E.T. and he's about to touch this little boy with his light finger right on his heart and you have a beautiful
Ouch.
moment, that's not the time to take his ass down.
It's not the time, Joe,
No, it's
because
not.
let's
It's not.
face it, we don't know. In the same way that in the War of the Worlds, they were doomed from when they came here because they were not immune to the bacteria like we were.
I know. That's always the thing, right? Like Star Trek and other sci-fi films are like us landing on different planets and colonizing and doing all these other things. I just think of how unrealistic that is. We're never going to be able to go to a different planet because the simple size of the planet and the pressure and the gravity might be too much for us, let alone a fucking germ.
Yes.
Let alone alien leprosy, which seems like this is what the guy got.
Yes, and it killed him. It covered his skin in oil. Like he started
I mean, it sounds
excreting oil.
like his actual flesh was kind of liquefying almost.
Like almost. Like it's gross, but goddamn. And I had never heard. Have you heard of this one before?
Not this particular story, no.
No, and that's what that's what really intrigued me was this is back in 1996, so it's not that long ago, within our lifetime.
Yeah, 30
and,
years.
And once again, another thing covered up, but disclosed right here on Earthling Entertainment.
Dun dun dun. Well, I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty weird story, Ryan.
I mean, really weird, dude.
Really weird. Some things in life are weird, though.
I mean, some of the best things in life are weird.
Yeah, especially this next segment, which we lovingly call
Real World Weird.
Strange mystery creature scares surfers in Uruguay.
This is what I was telling you about earlier.
This comes to us from coasttocoastam.com. A group of surfers in Uruguay got quite the fright when they encountered a sizable mystery creature that they still cannot identify. The puzzling incident reportedly occurred on August 16th as Andre Fernandez and his two friends were out on the water at the country's popular Bikini Beach. I can see why it's popular.
Yeah. It's nowhere near as popular as Thong Beach, but you know, it's fine. There's no tops. Is the point.
I got nothing. Their excursion took a strange turn.
It's called Whaletail Cove, Ryan. Whaletail Cove.
Ooh, ooh. So it took a strange turn, the surfer recalled, when suddenly the waves stopped. During this 10-minute long, inexplicable period of calm, he said, a creature appeared to our right, both frightening and flummoxing the group. I like that word.
Flummoxing?
Flummoxing.
Flummoxing. I am flummoxed.
I am rather flummoxed, sir.
Yeah. It's another word is like discombobulated. I love that one.
Indeed. Conceding that his recollection of the animal was very confusing, Fernandez explained that his attention was first drawn to it when he heard a whale-like noise. Turning to look at the source of the sound, the surfer was surprised to see a black back with no visible dorsal fin, but it had little scales along its spine. Remarkably, the witness estimated that the mystery animal was a whopping 3 feet wide. Fortunately for the surfers, their encounter with the creature was brief as it went to the bottom and disappeared, shortly after passing behind the group. Looking back on the experience, Fernandez expressed gratitude that nothing happened to them, but also mused that the scare was huge. When he later turned to the internet to possibly identify the animal, the surfer indicated that he could find no whale that matched what they saw in the water that day. I've been trying to define what it was for a while, Fernandez said of the creature that continues to haunt him.
And that's why I thought it was crazy when you brought it up earlier, that the Carnival Cruise story of the gentleman who saw.
Yeah.
Isn't it eerily similar?
Very much so. And it's like, how could we ever call these people wrong? Like I said, we know nothing of our oceans. We know a lot, but hardly nothing.
Well, that and Ryan and I grew up in Michigan, so we've dealt with Great Lakes, obviously, but
Yeah.
not the ocean as much. And you imagine someone who surfs, someone who works on a cruise ship, they see ocean creatures
Correct.
quite often.
Yeah.
So when they're the ones it's kind of like when a pilot says he saw a UFO. It's like these are the
Yes.
people you want to believe because they know what's out there.
Precisely, dude. And that's what I'm saying. So we're talking about a person, like you said, he's a surfer. He's out here all the time.
He at least seen, you imagine seals, other things, possibly sharks. I've heard some stories of just sitting on your board and having seals come by. Kevin Smith, the guy who plays Silent Bob and Jay and Silent Bob, he did a pilot, and I don't remember the name. He talked about it way back when, but it was early 2000s. He did a pilot where they were a bunch of goofy guys, and in the scene, they were surfing. And he told a story where he was sitting on the surfboard and a seal came up and it scared the crap out of him. So it happens.
And that would scare the crap out of me.
It would absolutely scare the crap.
Even a manatee would scare me. And they're amazing. Like they're sweet and all that stuff. But if I were out in the ocean and this big body came at me
I don't like the idea that things are under me and around me and could come. And it could be the most not dangerous thing in the world, but if
Exactly.
it's bigger than me, I don't want it by me in unfamiliar territory.
It's just like, okay.
It's like,
Okay.
okay, I will, if I had the opportunity, I would pet or touch an elephant or a rhino because that is kind of normal because it's a giant animal, sure, but it's still on land. I know where I am. In the water, a big whale comes up, I don't want to go near it.
No, me either. I think about that all the time. And I feel like these people are insane that go out on kayaks that are clear.
Oh my God, like see-through?
Yeah.
What? Like
Yeah.
an acrylic kayak or something?
Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's totally see-through. And they go out on the open ocean.
So it just looks like they're
Sitting
floating
there.
So they're kind of like Wonder Woman in their invisible jet.
And I
running
just
around
think
the-
about how great whites attack is they come up.
Yeah. That
You know what I
looks
mean?
like some good legs and butt.
So yeah, so they think they're taking a bite out of your butt, and now you're flying through the air, and that thing is in there, and now you're in there. Sharks in the ocean.
Oh,
Farewell and adieu to you,
You know-
fair Spanish ladies.
I gotta be honest, I've been scared of sharks since I was a little kid, and it's because my dad let me watch Jaws way too young. Like I really may have been like 2 years old or something.
That
Because
sounds about right for me too.
I was so scared of sharks. I psyched myself out in like pools and other places, like any bottled water. I could be in a pool and it's like I logically know that there's no sharks, there's no connection to any form of water. But in my head, I'll be like, what if there was a shark there? And I'd start panicking and have to swim.
Bull shark.
I'm just
Bull
saying.
shark.
Why bull shark?
Because they can survive in fresh water.
Maybe not chlorine though.
Not chlorine.
Yeah.
Not
No,
chlorine.
no.
Yet.
I'm just saying sharks
Yet.
scare me. Sharks scare me.
I'm just saying, what if there was a pranker who just like took a bunch of bull sharks and just let them loose in the Great Lakes?
What a prank. So many deaths.
To be fair, I think the water's too cold for them here, but still. I even think about that. That's how far I'm afraid of sharks
There was
too.
a recent shark movie where there was a shark under Paris. It was on Netflix.
I did watch that. And I
Yeah?
can't remember what it's called.
Well, you know what? If you
I
like
think it
shark
was called
movies,
Under Paris.
actually, I
think
think
it
I think it was. I think it was.
And it was pretty good.
Huh.
It wasn't bad.
Well, was it scary?
I have like a scare of sharks and being underwater like you do. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are
yeah,
like a few rungs down the ladder of the food chain. Yeah, I'm not cool with it.
What about Ghost? Because I mean, besides Jaws, what I saw when I was really young was Poltergeist, and that one scared the crap out of me. Do ghosts scare you?
They definitely did. They definitely did. And I think that brings us to our next story.
Oh yeah, is it a little spooky?
It's definitely spooky, Joe, and weird. Haunted Vegas casino seeks ghost hunter. A contest from a purportedly haunted Las Vegas casino will see the winner paid $5,000 to conduct a ghost hunt in the decades-old building.
Well, hold on, we might want to do this.
Hire us, Earthling Entertainment. We're in. The clever concept reportedly comes courtesy of the El Cortez Hotel and Casino, the longest running such site in the city, which opened in 1941. Considered one of the most haunted locations in Las Vegas, the casino was once owned in part by infamous mobster Bugsy Siegel and boasts a long history of paranormal activity reported by staff and visitors. Drawing on the site's spooky reputation, the casino is seeking someone to search for spirits, and their chosen ghost hunter will be awarded $5,000 for their effort. The contest, which can be entered at www.casino.org/blog/vegas-ghost-dream-job /.
Okay, hold on. Say that one more time slowly for anyone who actually wants to enter.
www.casino.org/blog/vegas/ghost/dream/job /.
Yeah, they didn't make it easy.
We'll see the winner.
I mean, honestly, you should sign up because I don't know how many people are going to know that fucking website. So you might be like one of 10.
Honestly, I think we're a good runner for that. Let's do it.
Yeah, we will.
So it will see the winner provided with a weekend-long stay at the El Cortez, where they will be given full access to the various haunted spots within the building. The lucky spirit seeker will be tasked with conducting their own paranormal investigation of the location using ghost hunting equipment and cameras. Following their visit, the contest winner will also be required to write up a report detailing their scariest, funniest, or even most mysterious moments from the experience. Would-be ghost hunters and paranormal investigators have until Halloween to enter the contest, with the winner being announced shortly thereafter.
That's right. And what's the name of the hotel?
That would be the El Cortez Hotel and Casino.
Okay, guys. So if you're interested in this, just Google El Cortez Hotel Casino contest hunting, whatever. If you put in the keywords, you're gonna find it.
It should come up.
It might be a lot easier than remembering that URL.
Yep, I did my best, Joe.
No, it wasn't you. It's kind of like when it's like, yeah. Remember in the early 2000s where it's like, I got my own website. It's angelfire.com
Oh my God, Angel Fire.
Angel Fire.
I had an Angel Fire. I was a Pokemon master. That was my website.
That is fantastic.
I'm not kidding.
You know, my my first email address was bigovergrowth@gmail.com, and it came from the literal third installment of Pokemon cards, which were the grass type Pokemon cards called Overgrowth.
That's right.
And yeah. So I don't know why that information was necessary. Hey guys, go ghost hunting in Vegas.
That go ghost hunting in Vegas, that was very weird.
And that brings us to the close of our first half of the show. But guys, after a brief message, you're going to enjoy a wonderful interview by Stephen Barton and the rest of our pop culture section. So stay tuned.
Yes.
The historic town of Freehold, New Jersey is known for many aspects. A tight community, the talented Bruce Springsteen, beautiful architecture, and structures tracing back hundreds of years. We are even home to a famous teenage witch and her sassy black cat. Most importantly, we are known for the Battle of Monmouth, which is credited for turning the tide in the American Revolution. What isn't commonly known is, for some places in Freehold, their old residents never left. Freehold Ghost Tours takes you on a leisurely walk through downtown Freehold and shares with you dark history, hauntings, and legends of our beautiful town. Stories consisting of true accounts from current and former residents and business owners, snippets of the past left behind by the living and the dead. Come hop on the Dark History and Hauntings of Freehold tour. Dates and spots are limited. Tickets can be purchased on freeholdghosttours.com. That's freeholdghosttours.com. With ghost stories, history lives on forever.
Calling all comic fans, it's time to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics, where the freshest new issues, graphic novels, and manga hit the shelves every week. Whether you're looking for the hottest new series or the latest small press sensation, we've got it all. Every genre for every age, Green Brain Comics is your one-stop shop for all things graphic storytelling. Got questions? Our friendly staff knows their stuff. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the world of comics, we've got recommendations that'll keep you coming back for more. And don't forget to check out our special events. Green Brain Comics is not just a store, it's a community. Located in East Downtown Dearborn, we are at Green Brain Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Shop online at greenbraincomics.com. And remember to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics.
Earthling Entertainment special report. 1. All 44 episodes of Freddy's Nightmares have returned to Tubi.
2. Ernie Hudson joins Toy Story 5 as the new voice of Combat Carl after the passing of Carl Weathers.
3. Yellow Jackets will end after its 4th and final season.
4. The Curse of La Llorona sequel, The Revenge of La Llorona, is now in production.
This has been an Earthling Entertainment special report.
I hope you paid attention.
The gremlins have spoken.
We have.
Pay us. Bonuses.
Pay us more. Pay us more.
More money.
More money.
Nom 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 money.
You'd always count on those special report gremlins for a good time. They're a hoot and a holler.
They really are. They're well worth it. The Gremlin Union are a bit of sticklers, but like I said, well worth it.
Absolutely. Well, guys, you have entered the second half of the show, the latter half, if you will, the pop culture. And we're sitting down with Steve Barton, a.k.a. Uncle Creepy. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm sitting here with Steve Barton, and he's quite a character. Do you know he is a paranormal historian, a published author. He does live event hosting, an award-winning film producer. I mean, let's say jack of all trades, right?
Yeah, dude, I've worn a lot of hats over the years, and not just because I'm bald. It was it's been a crazy, crazy ride over the last 30 years, and I feel very lucky and fortunate to be here and to have accomplished all that I have thus far.
Well, you know what? I feel really lucky to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, man, it's my pleasure. Sorry, taking a drink.
Not a problem.
And let me just preface this by, if people hear me sniffling, I'm just getting over a cold. I am not on cocaine. I swear to God.
Well,
It's
it
just
can't be
it's the
helped.
sniffles. Yeah.
Listen, it's that time of year.
Yes, man. It really, really is.
Well, you know what? The spooky season. Let's talk a little bit about that. It seems like you have lived your life in the spooky, so to speak.
October is one of those months, man, where I feel like the rest of the world catches up with me for 30 days. And then they just let it all go. And I guess that, that's fine. People like what they like, but there's something about October and the Halloween season. It's just fun. I mean, a lot of people, it's been exhausting too, because this is my busy month. You know what I mean? So in between making appearances and working on this and working on that, it's like by the time October's over, I need a rest, man. I feel like Santa Claus the day after Christmas.
I don't blame you. I mean, you are deep in Halloween. Obviously, All Hallows Eve Inferno was 2024.
Hmm.
All Hallow Eve's Trickster was 2023, and
Hmm.
Terrifier 2, of course, which is
Hmm.
Art the Clown came from, which was the first, wasn't it? The All Hallows Eve, the very
All
first one.
Hallows, the very first All Hallows Eve acted as Damien Leone's proof of concept. It was a collection of all his indie films and his short films up until that point. And it was obvious, even though he cut off this chick's legs, that the property itself had legs. You know what I mean? A while back, I want to say probably, God, almost 6, 7 years now, I was still doing Dread Central. And Dread Central is one of the biggest horror websites out there. I created it, I founded it, and I served as editor in chief on it for 18 years, which was another exhausting job in and of itself. But hey, I'm not complaining. I could have been flipping fucking burgers.
Hey, but
Um,
at least you were working for yourself. I mean, I know before that you
yeah,
had a spot in Fangoria, and you also did the horror channel. So
yeah. Well, what's funny, man? Everyone always assumed that when you do the website thing, that the studios are paying you all this money to pimp their stuff, and it's really not like that at all. Um, I didn't start making money at Dread Central until about year 7 or 8. That's a long time to be at it. I mean, number one, 8 years is like a fucking eternity in website terms,
it's two
and
bachelor's degrees.
it really is, dude. And it was a lot of fun. I got to meet and work with a lot of people who I grew up admiring, and it was this long thing, dude. It's like I used to wake up. My typical day when I first started Dread Central was I would get up at like 4 a.m. I'd update the website so people would have content in the morning. About 8:30, I'd go to my retail job, which I used to work at a fucking GameStop, right?
Fair.
And I would sling video games till like 3, and then I'd come home and I'd update the website for the afternoon news, and then I'd eat dinner, and then I'd update the website till about 1 a.m. And then I'd go to sleep, and I'd wake up at 4, and I literally lived on 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night for a good portion of 8 years. And that was a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, over those 8 years, we were making a little money, but my partner and I, we didn't take it. We paid the writers who were helping us. And then when Dread Central actually became a thing and it really started working, It was great. It was fucking amazing. It literally was like Christmas. Oh, I could quit my day job. Right. Yay. And we had a good run for quite a long time. But then, as you know, the business kind of bottoms out of the website industry. And the way websites make money it's a very specific way. Let's say you're Warner Brothers and you have The Conjuring, right? So they pick one of the highest traffic websites to advertise on. If the film does well, they're like, oh, it probably because we had our targeted audiences on these websites. So sites like mine, Bloody Disgusting, at that time, Shock Till You Drop, we were the three valued items, right? And then social media came along. And instead of advertising with us like they normally would, they would just hire an intern to run an Instagram page or a Facebook page or a Twitter page. And they'd ask us to write about these pages to let people know they could find them on social media. So it was like you end up having to write about the very thing that's putting you out of business.
Yeah, you know what? That's why I don't cover any stories about AI, to be perfectly honest.
Oh my God, dude. It was crazy. It was just crazy. But we reached a point where we were either gonna close up shop or get a parent company. Now, I need to stress this. The majority of the time, probably 16 years of the time that I was editor in chief, we never had a parent company. We never had anyone telling us what to do. I mean, when I started this shit, the internet was like the Wild West. You do whatever the fuck you want and whatever sticks, sticks. So that was kind of cool because a lot of the things that I seen other sites like Brad Miska and Ryan Turek, a lot of the things that we implemented, listen to me, I can't even speak, implemented at the dawn of web journalism are things that people still adhere to. And that's very flattering. So we, in a lot of ways, kind of pioneered that shit for a lot of people. And of course, the pioneers, they reach the end of their road sometimes. And like I said, we were either going to close up or find a parent company. And then Epic Pictures Group came along and they're like, we want to spin Dread Central off into its own video label for our horror movies. And the guy who was really putting together the deal, who's not there anymore, he promised us the world and everything sounded great on paper. And then it became apparent as time went along that he was looking for a yes man. And I am a lot of things, but I am not a fucking yes man. No way, no shape, no form, never will be. So I was taxed at first with the job of sifting through hundreds of films to debut the Dread Central Presents label. And I'll be honest with you, it's like every one of them sucked, dude. I mean, they were terrible. It's just because you could give somebody dough, cheese, and sauce doesn't mean they could make you a pizza. You know what I mean? It means that they could cook something and present it, but it's not exactly
Technically,
good.
it's food.
Technically, it was film. So, it was daunting. And then one day, Damien Leone had seen me give quotes for, I think, Rob Zombie on one of his movies. I think it was 31 at the time. So Damien wrote me. He's like, hey, Steve, how you doing? My name is Damien. I have this movie. I can't get any traction with it. They don't understand it. They want to censor it. They want to do this. They want to do that. I'm hoping maybe you could watch it and give me a quote. Maybe that could help. And I'm like, of course, man. So I put aside the epic shit and I took Terrifier and I watched it. Excuse me. And I was just kind of blown away, man, Like to me, this is the forbidden fruit. This is the movie that when I was young, I would hang out in the schoolyard and talk to my friends about. Like we would always gather and talk about, did you see this movie with this fucking guy? Blah, 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 blah. So that was all of it right there. And I was like, wow, we haven't had a movie like this in a really long time. I mean, Hatchet was out there and I worked on Hatchet as well. Hatchet was very lighthearted, even though it was batshit crazy, you know?
Yeah, yeah, but it was fun. It was the slasher, the good time slasher. And I know in Hatchet too, you actually played a hunter in that one.
Yes, yes, I got to be a pussy that ran away. Thanks, Adam. Fuck you. Um,
Hey, a roll's a roll, man.
I have a funny Hatchet 2 story too, but that's a whole other thing. Um, so Hatchet was the closest thing we had, but it wasn't that make you feel dirty kind of movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what we were missing. Do I think Hatchet's a better franchise? I absolutely do. I think Adam killed it with that franchise. I love all four of those movies. But there hadn't been anything like Terrifier in a long time. And so I called Damien after I watched it, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing with this? And he's like, I can't do anything with it. I'm like a hair away from self-distributing it. And I'm like, wait, just wait. Don't do anything until you hear back from me. So I went back to Epic, and I'm like, all right, I found the movie we need to lead with. This is everything that I wanted it to be. This is what we're going to do. It's going to be amazing. Trust me. This is it. This is it, guys. And at that point, worldwide rights weren't available. So only the United States were available. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Trust me. And they ended up acquiring the movie, but there was just one little hitch. They hated it. Abso-fucking-lutely hated it.
That makes nobody's job easy.
No, especially mine, right?
Yeah.
So it was a knockdown, drag out fight almost the entire time to get this movie distributed, literally. They didn't understand it. I mean, it's an offensive movie. They're like, well, maybe we should, and these are actual conversations I've had with them. Maybe we should edit it and take out some more of the, I'm like, no, if you take a single frame out of this movie, it's no longer this movie. It's one of a dozen. You know, what makes this movie special is the fucked up shit that Art the Clown does. So I won that battle, and then they were like, well, I swear to God, I don't know if Redbox is still around, but Redbox was like the replacement Blockbuster Video where you could just buy a movie from a kiosk, right? So everything when it came to Redbox was alphabetical placement. So like, well, Terrifier starts with a T, so it's going to be down low. Maybe we could call it hashtag Terrifier. And I'm just fucking shaking my head like, are you kidding me? Like, no, we cannot call it hashtag Terrifier. That's fucking stupid.
Bean counters are not good creatives most of the time.
No, no. And I mean, this was like a 7-month argument. I mean, to the point where Damien and I had our one and only argument because they just put so much stress from both ends, you know? And we got past that, and we were like, listen, it's going to work out. I told him it was going to work out. And I went back to Epic in during one of our 90 masturbatory meetings where everybody pats themselves on the back and comes up with all these great ideas and nobody implements jack shit. So it ends up being a complete fucking waste of time. I got to the point finally where I was so angry and so tired of it that I said, listen, release this movie. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't hit like I think it's going to hit, you can have my part of the company. I will walk away. And at that point, that was 18 years of my career. I hadn't done anything else really, you know? And I put that shit right on the line because I just had this feeling, man. And they took me up on that. And I think it's because it would have been an easy way to get rid of me, you know? If the movie fails, I'm toast. I'm out the door.
Yeah.
And they released the movie. And all of a sudden, there's murals of Art the Clown all over the fucking world. There's people making their own merch. It was just insanity. And it ended up being their best-selling title, not just horror, but otherwise. And I told them to go fuck themselves anyway, you know, because
it's kind of baller.
That's me, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, fuck you. I'm done with you. And I quit. And I didn't know, dude, I thought I was done. You know, I mean, I've done a lot of cool things. And during Dread Central, two of the best things that ever happened to me where I was mentored by both Sid Haig and George Romero, which is like, that's like Bigfoot deeming you cool enough to know that he exists. You know what I'm saying?
I actually know exactly what you're saying. That is amazing. Because I know you were actually in Survival of the Dead, which is Romero's last zombie film he did.
Yes, George and I, we became very close. Same thing with Sid and me. And both of them have imparted so much knowledge in me about how the business works and not just how to treat people, but to how to expect to be treated, and they were a real huge contributing factor in me having the nuts enough to tell them to go fuck themselves because I did not like the way things were going. And I'd rather have nothing than lie and put my heart in something I don't believe in. I would rather die a pauper with integrity than a rich douchebag with no soul. Always. End of the day, bottom line. So a few months later, Damien said to me, Steve, we're going to do Terrifier 2. And I was like, Damien, I have to be a part of this. Not just because literally at that time, it's the only thing I had. I had to be a part of it because now our stories became so entwined, you know? Guaranteed, if I didn't do everything I did for that first movie, nobody would even know what the fuck that movie was. You can make the best movie in the world, but if nobody sees it, you haven't done anything, unfortunately. So I was very instrumental to the point where I sacrificed my career to get that movie out there, or I was willing to. So, it came time to work on 2, and I told him, because I felt that I didn't like the way things went down, with Epic and Dread Central. So I told him, listen, let me be a part of it. I will work for absolute free. Okay, let me show you what I could do. And they made the movie, and I got to work, man. I put on the social media clinic that to this day has not been matched by anyone. And I used every tool in my toolbox to make sure everyone knew what Terrifier 2 was, And that wouldn't have done any good if he didn't make a good movie. The movie is good. So he made my job easier by cooking up something that was great, And I knew once I had that good product, the rest was going to be gravy. So I hammered it out there, man. I was on social media fucking 24 hours a day on replying to people, engaging the fan base. And by the time the movie came out, we were supposed to get, well, first of all, that's a whole other story. Again, on the verge of self-distributing it, And then the movie was at Cannes, and one day I got a call from Brad Miska of Bloody Disgusting. And he's like, Steve, I know you're working on this. What do we have to do to get Terrifier 2? And I'm like, fuck, Brad, you're asking me to have them go with another website after the first website they worked with kind of screwed them. That's a Herculean task, dude.
Yeah.
And he says, it'll be different. And so, again, I put them together, and they got this close to agreeing. And Damien called me, and he's like, we really want to go with Bloody, but there's a couple things that we really want. And if we can get these things, it'll work. And so I called them. I go, this is what we want. It took me all of 10 minutes. Brad called me back 5 minutes later, agreed to everything, and I just secured their distro deal. So now the movie's coming closer to release, and everyone is all wound up, totally fucking wound up. The trailer drops. Next thing you know, everybody's fucking making Art the Clown memes with the sunglasses, and we were like, holy shit, out of everything in this fucking trailer, it's the fucking sunflower glasses that are catching on, and people are making you never know with people.
Yeah, some things just become viral hits. It's like the Wednesday dance when that first season came out. Some things just hit.
It's impossible to try to pinpoint what they are, or what they'll be. It has to happen organically. That's why a lot of people over my career have come to me like, oh, I have the next cult classic. I have the next midnight movie. My answer is always, no, you don't. You can't. It's impossible. And the reason why it's impossible is because it's not the filmmaker's job to make that happen. The filmmaker can't make that happen. It has to be the fans who make that happen. That's who's going to dictate how big your movie gets. They're either going to be the ones that want to go see it at midnight. You know what I mean? So we ended up getting a theatrical release. We thought it was going to be 2 days, and it just started fucking exploding, and every at the end of every weekend, we get on a call and find out whether or not we were getting extended. And before you knew it, we were getting extended and going wider and wider and wider. And I remember fucking sitting here one day and just someone sent me a clip of some morning show with Jerry O'Connell. And he's like, whoever's doing the marketing behind Terrifier 2 is doing the best job ever. And I'm like, hi. We didn't have a marketing budget.
I mean, you really succeeded though, because Terrifier 2 was most people that I know who are fans of the franchise. That was their entry point. You know, that, and as far as Art the Clown becoming a worldwide phenomenon, you're not kidding. I have a buddy who owns a tattoo shop, and he said that the year that film came out, Art the Clown beat Jack Skellington with Goth Girl Requests. I mean, that's pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah.
You go, man, you know? And then people started throwing up, you know, like, what? You know? And people like, oh, it's all marketing. Number one, we weren't even smart enough to think of that. Okay. We had no budget whatsoever. The only thing I wanted to do, and I knew this was the right way to go from my years at Dread Central, was the audience had to be engaged with on a sincere heart-to-heart level, you know? Because we know when we're being fucking taken for a ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easy to know when someone's trying to screw you. So I made sure that every fan got answered. And not just a placate thank you, blah, blah, blah. Everyone got retweeted. Everyone got this. Everyone got that. And I made it so, and it was the truth, that the fans who were supporting this movie, they weren't just on the ride with us. They were in the fucking car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were sitting right next to us because we were doing something that nobody had ever done before. I'm super proud of that. And if I could take that, that's probably one of the most proudest moments of my life. Not because Terrifier did well. I'm grateful Terrifier did well and Terrifier 2 did well. I'm happy that because of those movies' successes, that it opened the door for other indie filmmakers or other younger filmmakers to have their movies have a chance at theaters.
Yeah.
Studios now were a little bit more open to the excessive gore, and they were open to the non-Hollywood projects. So now these little movies started getting theatrical releases, like where Evil Lurks, which is phenomenal, and fucking the Winnie the Pooh movies. Or I don't know. I
the Blood and
still
Honey,
haven't watched them. That never would have been in the theater if not for Terrifier. You know,
and it's actually a really great time for indie horror because of that, because they can keep the budgets a little bit lower. And also, I'd argue that right now, horror, the genre, is the only place that you're really getting original things. It's not just IP.
Well, it's because there's a whole new crop of filmmakers out there who were inspired, who usually would have been told no, who usually would have had no chance of getting their film in the theater. And I helped to change all that. And that is what I am most proud of. I got people to appreciate unrated, unabated fucking gore movies again. And I got people, the R ratings now are a lot looser than they were, man.
Yeah, probably would have been X even a few years ago or earlier.
Oh, God,
yeah. Yeah.
God, yeah. You know, so it was an incredible ride, and one I'm very thankful for taking. And, you know, up until that time, the only thing I had produced was Never Sleep Again.
Sure. Which is, by the way, a great documentary. It was 2010, and that covered all of the Nightmare on Elm Street films.
Yep, that was an incredible, talk about trial by fire. Jesus Christ. It was like you have this project that was filmed over several states and several countries, and putting it all together, and everyone's effort was above and beyond.
It's a Herculean task to put together something that large.
Dude, it was fucking insanity. You know, so Terrifier 2 comes out, and it's a success, and huge success. I mean, after what happened with Terrifier 2, Terrifier 3 could have been about Art the Clown taking a shit, and it would have made bank. There was just no question. Going back to All Hallows Eve, the guy who distributed All Hallows Eve was a guy named Jesse Baget from Ruthless Pictures. He came to me with it may have been before Inferno. I don't know. But anyway, he came to me and he was like, Steve, I got this thing I want to do. I need a couple of short films. Have you seen any good ones so I could finish this off? And like, of course I do, dude. I, I've seen fucking everything. So
It's like, that's my bread and butter.
right. So I like was like, yeah, man, I could throw some people your way, sure. And then I jokingly said to him, if you would have let me pick all the fucking movies, this whole thing would have been banging, right? And we laughed, and that was that. A few months later, he came to me, he's like, did you mean that? I'm like, mean what? What you said. I'm like, what the fuck did I say, dude? I don't remember what I did. I don't remember what I did Tuesday,
Yeah.
And he's like, do you want to pick all the films for another All Hallows Eve? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me think about it. And I went back, and you know what? I have to be completely transparent, as I always try to be. The one thing I missed about being at Dread Central was being able to help the indie filmmaker. The reason why Dread Central made its bones was because my direction was to pay attention to the indie filmmaker and give them as much spotlight as the studio filmmaker. Nobody was doing that. So that's what I did. So I was like, the thing with short films is they have a shelf life. You make a short film, right? Put it out there. If it's lucky, it does its festival run. And then that's it, And they usually end up living on YouTube or on Vimeo or one of those services. And because film has gotten so much easier to make, like anyone can make a movie right on their computer, the market is so flooded. So even to find the good ones is a task in and of itself because there's so much white noise out there. And I was like, okay, I know of some older short films that were really good. And I was like, you know what? I wonder if this could be a way to give these films and these filmmakers a new lease on life, bring these projects back to the forefront. So I started thinking of what would happen if the average filmmaker who's unknown, like Damien was when they put together all the shorts for All Hallows Eve, what if another filmmaker could have that chance to shine? So I put out a call for shorts. I ended up watching nearly 1,000 of them, and I narrowed it down to like 40, if that tells you anything. And we started curating them, and we put it out in All Hallows Eve. So for me, All Hallows Eve is to give filmmakers an opportunity to take their pre-existing projects and give them a second life. And hopefully somebody sees them and says, hey, this is good. Let's give these guys a chance. And one of the main things we did when we were fielding shorts was I made it clear. I never wanted anyone's intellectual property. I want them to keep it. So any short that you see, the filmmaker totally owns all the rights to the ideas and intellectual property because I'm selfish and I want to see cool shit. So I want people to make shit,
Yeah.
And
kind of the opposite of Thomas Edison here. I like it.
Yeah. So that's what All Hallows Eve does now. A lot of these filmmakers have gone on to do better things, and their shorts are on Tubi or Amazon, and it's just Voodoo or Fandango at Home or whatever it's called, instead of just sitting there rotting on YouTube or on Vimeo. And I'm very proud of that too, actually.
Well, what might be an idea for the future is you guys have an All Hallows Eve film festival, and then the winners are in the next film installment.
Maybe.
Seems like a fun idea.
Maybe
you could write the whole festival off as marketing. I don't know. Throw that out there.
I'm not used to working with a budget, sir.
Fair enough.
Awesome. This is a really weird industry, and I think it takes a certain something to be successful in it. It takes people always ask me, man, to like, how do you get into this? How do you do this? And being that I was taught by George and Sid, I take everyone very seriously, and I would try my hardest to give them the best advice that I can. And if someone comes to me and asks how they should do this and then follows it up with, and my plan B is, I know they're done. There is no plan B. You're either going to do this and it's going to be your life, or you're not gonna. If you're already planning on what to do if you fail, you're not giving yourself a chance to succeed.
Yeah.
It changes everything. And to this day, there are plenty of times I wake up every day, I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? And then that one thing happens, or you hear from that one person who's like so appreciative of what you did or whatever, and it puts it all in perspective. That's why it's to reach people. To take someone who's having a shitty day and let them turn up their brain for a little while and have a good time. Yeah, our good times are mainly people getting killed, which probably keeps a lot of people out of jail,
I'd
you
say
know?
so. It's cathartic.
And exactly. And I think that it's such a worthy thing to do, man, because art is subjective and it's personal and it's necessary.
Yeah.
It lets us get outside of ourselves for a little while. And especially in this world today, man, where everything is upside down and backwards 24 hours a day, these little areas where people can just seek a little refuge and have some fun are more important now than they've ever been. So I think that's why I do it. And I will always do it. I'm a fucking cockroach. I ain't going away. I refuse to go away. And I refuse to not help others when I know how to help them. What I started doing recently is I started consulting on scripts with people,
Sure.
almost like a script doctor, and that's what I've been doing. And that's been a lot of fun. And I have a couple of screenplays that I wrote that are in various stages of production and sitting with some very good people right now, which is amazing.
Awesome.
And yeah, there's a lot more to come, man. I wish there was something I could tell you because I'm excited about it, but I can't say shit.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. There's been a few projects where I've been in a similar boat, and it's like, well, just stay tuned.
Nothing is real until it's real. It could be promising. Yeah, it could be promising, but if it's not real and not in your hand, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I just keep fanning the flames, and they're heating up pretty fucking hot. So not good.
All right. Well, great, man. I do actually have because I want to jump back because you said earlier that you had a really fun story about Hatchet 2. And now I'm kind of intrigued if you can do that.
First of all, let me apologize because I just talked your ear off for 39 minutes.
Not a problem.
I could talk, dude, even when I'm sick, obviously. But when Hatchet came around, Adam and I were talking because we had become fast friends, and he credits me with the whole creating the Hatchet Army movement, right? Which was really cool, but how could I resist? Unrated horror in theaters? Fuck yeah. So Hatchet 2 rolls around, and Adam's like, all right, Steve, I want you to be in the scene. So I go up there, and at that time, it's like a who's. If you look in that crowd, it's me, is Lloyd Kaufman, Mike Mendez, Dave Parker, Ryan Schifrin, all like at that point, the horror crowd, right? And we're doing this scene where Tony Todd is giving his speech and trying to inspire these hunters to follow him into the swamp. And then he tells them that target is Victor Crowley, and everybody gets up and walks away.
Nope.
But during that scene, Adam had this idea that cookies should be passed out to the hunters because that's funny. And it is funny, right?
Yeah.
And the thing with film is you do multiple takes from every conceivable angle that you can. And so Adam had us all eating cookies, chocolate chip, Chips Ahoy cookies for about 35 minutes. Okay? No drinks, no nothing, no fucking milk, right? So by the time that shit was over, we all felt like we had sand in our mouths, right?
Oh,
And to this day, it's funny too. We just got into Adam and I were appearing at the same convention, and Tammy and Elisa, these two wonderful women that go to the conventions, they had a Hatchet 2 poster. And I knew Adam was there. And so I wrote, I signed it and I go, tell Adam, I said, where's my milk? Right. And then they brought it to Adam, and he signed it with something for me. And then I signed it back with some. So for like an hour and a half, these two women were just walking from my table to his, from his table to mine. And they ended up with the coolest fucking collector's item because it's like 3 sheets of fucking. There was a point where I was taping paper to it just so I could continue writing. Oh, it's the funniest fucking thing. They have it online. It was just the stupidest thing. But it was just brilliant. And to this day, I've never forgiven him for not having some form of liquid on the set. Just something.
Yeah.
Something, dude. 35 minutes under hot lights eating sand. That's what it was.
Absolutely. It's like standing in a bikini or a swimsuit right in the dead of winter, but you're supposed to act like you're warm.
Oh my God. But you know what? Such a great time, man. What a great memory. I got to work with Tony Todd. Tony and I were good friends. Kane and I are great friends.
With your experience with Sid and George and Tony Todd and all of these wonderful horror people, at what time were you dubbed or given the moniker of Uncle Creepy? And
Oh,
where does Uncle Creepy come from,
it
sir?
was way before that, brother. Listen, I'm old as fuck now, right? I'm like in my 50s,
That
you
happens.
know. So I must have missed that memo or I don't know. But when I was a little kid, there was this magazine called Creepy, right?
Yeah.
And it was sort of like Tales from the Crypt, but the curator of Creepy instead of the Crypt Keeper was Uncle Creepy, right?
All
And
right.
so that was such a huge part of my formative years, that when I started working at Fangoria, which makes me reflect that I've done pretty much all of the jobs I've ever had for free.
That's being an artist, sir.
I guess, right? I started at Fangoria moderating their message boards, and it came time to pick a screen name, and I picked Uncle Creepy. Back then, it wasn't associated with the type of connotations that it is now. But by this time, it's too fucking late, and the name has brought me nothing but success. So I'm very happy and honored. It's all in my book, dude, A Comedy of Tragedies. It's just I've had this name over 30 years now. I've been using it, right?
Yeah.
And then like about 10, maybe 15 years ago, there's this UFC fighter, Ian McCall, right? And he uses the nickname Uncle Creepy. So on Twitter at the time, his wife would tag me at Uncle Creepy about all this shit. And I'm like, lady, I'm not your husband, right? And then he gets involved. And I'm like, now I'm in a verbal argument with a UFC fighter about the name Uncle Creepy. How the fuck does this happen? You know what I mean?
That's kind of
It's
great,
just, it's so stupid. The whole thing is so stupid. And it's been amazing, man. Like I said, the name has brought me nothing but good things. So I wear it as a badge of honor.
Fair enough. Well, one of the biggest things in the horror genre, obviously, are zombies. And with your experience of George, I wanted to ask, he didn't do the film Zombie World, but you did in 2015. You played a weatherman. And then in Survival of the Dead, like I mentioned, you played a zombie, it just says plaid shirt zombie. So
I was one of the featured zombies in Survival. I'm sorry, what was your question? I just get really warm when somebody brings it up because it just all these memories come flooding back. So what was your question?
You know what? Screw my question. Go with the warm, fuzzy feeling. Let's talk.
So at this time, George and I had become good friends, and this guy who practically raised me on TV because I come from dysfunctional family circus. So my moral compass, I learned from watching George Romero movies,
Yeah. Knight Rider in particular, I'm sure.
Oh, heck, only for Savini and his Savini. So one day I get a call and he's like, "Hey, Steve, it's George. What's going on?" I'm like, "Nothing, George. What's up?" He's like, "Well, listen, I got this thing cooking and I can't possibly cast you as one of the living. So you want to come up and be one of the dead guys for me?" And I'm like, "Nah, George, I can't work with you." And he starts laughing. Right? And I'm like, "Oh, fucking course. You kidding me?" Listen, George A. Romero asked you to be a zombie in his movie. You just find a way to get there.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you have to build a slingshot on your front lawn and launch yourself in the direction of the production. You do that. And I got up there and it was 14 below in Canada, and I was the happiest person on earth,
Yeah.
There was not a single second of that weekend that I did not have the biggest smile on my face, because not only was I getting to be a zombie, more importantly for me, I got to watch George work, to me, that's like if you're an art critic having the opportunity to see Picasso or Rembrandt paint, So I got to watch him work, man. And if I didn't love him enough by then, I certainly loved him now, and I just was in awe of him, even though he's a close friend, there's still that fanboy in you, and I was happy, man. I didn't know what he was good. I was just standing around as a dead guy, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes up to me, he's all right, Steve, this is the main killer of the movie. We got one shot. You're gonna do it, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, wait, we have what?
Yeah. Pressure's
Who?
on.
Right? We have one shot to get this because it's a low budget movie, and the scene was this guy gets ripped apart. So I have to rip this guy's spine out and completely unexpected. Nobody told me that's what I was doing there. Everybody knew but me, but I didn't care. I was just happy, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would consider that a really pleasant surprise and quite an honor.
Oh God, dude, are you kidding? To me, that's my whole entire bucket list right there. I mean, it's one thing to be a zombie, but when you get to be one of the ones that get to eat, all right, So we had one body to rip in half. The actor, he had his bottom torso was in a hole, and then the fake body was attached to his shoulders. And like I said, it's Canada, and it's 14 below. And what nobody realized, the body froze.
Oh no.
Completely fucking frozen. Okay? So now in my head, I'm going, we have one body, we have one take, we have one shot, and I can't rip this fucking thing apart. And so Mike Felsher was on the opposite side of me. A good friend of mine, Mike Felsher, was also a good friend of George. I do the commentaries with him whenever he needs a commentary for Red Shirt Pictures. I'm tearing him like, Mike, it's fucking frozen, and he's like, I know. And you just got to keep going and ripping and tearing, and just finally on the Blu-ray special features, they have the whole uninterrupted scene. It took about 3 minutes for us to tear this body in half.
Oh wow.
Like 3 of the most, and the fake spine cuts my hand, fucking. And as soon as the blood, all the guts were totally rock hard frozen, but as soon as the blood that wasn't frozen hit the air, it was like steam, and then it crystallized, right? And we got the body apart, and I knew he was happy, because when George is happy as a filmmaker, he gets this huge smile on his face, and he laughs, and he slapped his knee, and it was just I was looking up after the scene. And I seen him doing that, and I just put my head down like, oh, thank you, God, right? And he comes running over. He's like, oh, man, that was great. Are you all right? And I just sat up on my knees, and I walked over to him, and I hugged his legs, and I just said, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the most amazing memory ever. Just I cannot tell you how much that meant to me and how much he meant to me. And I miss him every day. We used to do goofy shit like he'd call me Ramirez for no reason, and I'd refer to him as Whit Bissell. I don't even know why, but it was just such a fun camaraderie that we had. And again, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not thankful and just feel completely blessed to have had the opportunity to have these kind of moments in my life.
Well, you know what? Thank you so much for being with us today on the show.
It's my pleasure, man.
That was wonderful, man. I really appreciate it. What a journey. Thank you so much. And from everyone here at Earthling Entertainment, have a good one.
Take care, man.
Oh, come on, Ryan. Admit it. That was a fun interview.
That was a great interview, dude. I had no idea that he was involved in so much awesome stuff, man. That was great.
I know. Before even starting this, I knew he worked for Dread Central. I didn't realize he was the co-creator of Dead Central, and I just, whatever. It was enough, but it was so awesome to have him on the show. But you know what? I actually think that brings us to music. We're moving away from some movies and producer stuff, and we're going to talk about this week's
Music Mumbles.
Rob Zombie announces new album with rip-roaring single, Punks and Demons. This comes to us from RevolverMag.com. The King Freak is officially back, or should we say, the Great Satan.
Huh?
Rob Zombie has officially announced his first full length in nearly 5 years. And his devilishly titled new LP is being previewed with a song dedicated to the Punks and Demons.
Which is a dope name for a song.
It's pretty sweet. And I honestly just listened to it. It was great. The new album is set to be released in 2026 and marks Zombie's first long player since 2021's The Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy.
What a title.
It's likewise his first album since original Zombie bassist Blasco rejoined the band in 2024. And since OG Hellbilly Deluxe guitarist Mike Riggs, yes, came back into the lineup in 2022. I got to meet him.
Oh, yeah? Was he nice?
Oh, dude, they were all nice. Let me, at the end of this, I'll talk about it.
All right.
Earlier this week, the metal vet announced he'd be premiering Punks and Demons and its music video at the 20th anniversary screenings behind his The Devil's Rejects film that took place across the U.S. in October 8th. Now, Zombie has revealed the song and its visual for the rest of us, letting the world in on his ministry-esque arsenal of chanting vocals and chugging industrial riffage.
Oh, man. I only got to see him once live, and he was the best stage show I've ever seen.
Incredible. Incredible. The Great Satan is due out February 26th via Nuclear Blast. But pre-orders for the album on Clear with Black Smoke tinted vinyl, limited to 1,000 copies, are available now in Revolver's shop. So here is the Great Satan track list, as we know now. Number 1, FTW 84. Number 2, Tarantula. Number 3, I'm a Rock and Roller. Number 4, Heathen Days. Number 5, Who Am I? Number 6, Black Rat Coffin. Number 7.
I like Black Rat Coffin.
Me too. Sir Lord Acid Wolfman.
Never mind. I like Sir Lord Acid Wolfman.
Number 8, Punks and Demons. Number 9, The Devil Man. Number 10, Out of Sight. Number 11, Revolution of Motherfuckers. Number 12.
I like his titles.
It just gets better and better.
He's pretty good at them.
He's always been good at that. Number 12, Welcome to the Electric Age. Number 13, The Black Scorpion. Number 14, Unclean Animals. And number 15, Grave Discontent.
Oh.
So back at 2001's tour, which was originally called Black
So
Christmas.
24 years ago.
Which was originally called Black Christmas, and it was renamed to A Night of Merry Mayhem. This was the tour which was seen in the original The Osbournes show, where he would come down in the sleigh and all the ashes were pouring out, and he's like, "Let me fucking tell you," Ozzy Osbourne.
Sure.
And people were like literally sticking their tongues out and going like trying to catch flakes.
Catch ashes on their tongue.
I went to that tour.
Yeah.
So this is back in the day, folks, if you were, our age, that when you bought a CD, sometimes they would give you a wristband, and then later on you could go meet the band and have them sign it.
Really?
I had Mudvayne opened up.
You mean at the tour? Like if you bought a CD while at the show?
At the show, yeah.
You can go get it signed.
Yep, at the show.
Wow. Okay, so it's way not cool like Rob Zombie, but I was able to do that once at Vans Warped Tour, and I got Billy Talent to sign all of theirs.
There's no shame in that. That's
Line
pretty
and
sweet.
Sinker. That was their song.
I met Lacuna Coil.
That's fucked up, dude. Because Lacuna Coil is awesome. And it's kind of like, hey Ryan, look, Two Fairy gave me a quarter, and you're like, oh yeah, well, Two Fairy once gave me $35,000. It's very different, sir.
So I bought the Mudvayne album because they were releasing their prequel to LD50. And so I got to meet them, and they were really cool. And then I bought Rob Zombie's new album. I believe it was called The Sinister Urge at the time, I think. And so I go and meet him, right? So I go to meet him, and my dad's with me. This is 2001. I was younger. And so I'm standing
in 2001, you were 14 or 13.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And so we're walking in there, and we realize, holy crap, there's only maybe 10 people here. So Dad holds me back, and he goes, just wait. So everybody goes through, and then I go up with a poster Dad bought me for them to sign, which I still have.
Yeah.
And Riggs was the guitarist. So I got to walk up, and they were all so cool, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, such a fan, because I am."
Yeah.
And so I'm just starstruck. And then I'm about to walk away. There's no one there. Dad made me wake, and my father, I kid you not, goes, "Mr. Zombie, you know, my son is a real big fan of yours, and it appears that no one else is here right now. He's into acting and music, and you're doing both. So why don't you talk to him about it?" Literally, Rob, without missing a beat, goes, "Okay," and gets up from behind the table, walks around the table, and comes up, "Hey, man, what's your name?" And I'm just like, "I'm Ryan." And I'm just like talking to him.
Your eyes get all wide.
And this was back when I was checking the House of a Thousand Corpses website every day because he was constantly updating it. That was back in the day.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Rob Zombie had a little bit of trouble releasing House of a Thousand Corpses when it first came out. I think he had it finished and it was shelved for a good couple years.
Yeah.
So what he would do is he would play clips and other things on his shows.
Yeah.
And they had a website. That's what he's talking about.
And he did show a lot of those clips live too at that day. And so I was just telling him, like, "Oh my God, I'm just so into it. And I just can't wait to see what's going to happen with the crew, like Otis and them." And because it was such like a thing, like, I'm like, "Oh, Mother Firefly, this is amazing." And he was just like, "Oh yeah, man, and I was like, "But I want to act too." And he's like, "Just keep up with it, man, blah, blah." And I didn't, but here I am. But gosh damn, it was so cool. I got to meet Rob Zombie and his crew, Riggs, and I could see them in the corner of my eye chuckling, like, because I'm just a kid gushing over like a hero.
You know what? It's like I can't. If I was able to do some kind of art where I had a young fan come up to me, I feel like that would be so validating. And I mean,
It was awesome.
oh,
No,
that's really
I'll
cool.
never forget it. I'll never. It just, and I think I got two T-shirts from that. I got a poster which is signed by his whole band at that time, and that's why I gushed when I was like, Riggs is back.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's the one from dig through the ditches and burn, do the witches that slam. Oh yeah, that's
back of my
Dragula. And that's with Riggs on guitar, and it's just so cool to hear. I'm excited for this. And like I said, I did get to hear the new song that just came out, Punks and Demons, and I love it. And you know what? The production value is interesting. It's almost like he's going back to his original White Zombie roots.
You said it was a little, and this is positive, not negative. You said it was very garage bandy kind of sounding.
He definitely was going back to his roots, like for sure. Like, and I'm a huge fan of White Zombie, his old band and stuff like that. Like, I listen to all the demos. Like, I love it. There's something about it. It's just so real.
I'm also a huge fan of Rob Zombie. I'm not a huge music guy, but I've loved all of his stuff. I went to a show with you, actually, the one show I saw, and I remember they had stage performances of like giant monsters coming out on stage.
It was like
Gwar. It was so awesome.
Just less blood.
But like that aside, to get into what more of my realm, as a filmmaker, I really appreciate Rob Zombie. I like his underrated 31, obviously.
Me too.
Right? House of a Thousand Corpses is a given. And then Devil's Rejects is arguably his best film.
Hands down, it's his best film. I definitely put it like Devil's Rejects, Thousand Corpses, and then 31.
You know, it was funny is I saw House of a Thousand Corpses before I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So when I actually saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 later on, it was amazing to me to see how much of House of a Thousand Corpses was inspired by Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, big time. And this kind of like reminds me, I was telling you, we just watched, my girlfriend and I, the Monster Ed Gein story.
Yeah, on Netflix. What is it, Monster Season 2 or 3?
I think it's 3 because the first was Dahmer, then it was the Menendez brothers, and now it's Ed Gein.
I didn't watch the Menendez brothers, but I didn't really give a shit about that one. But Ed Gein I'm going to watch. The next one apparently is Lizzie Borden.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I heard mixed things. I heard it might be John Wayne Gacy.
Well, no, I mean they've casted it.
Oh, they did?
It's Lizzie Borden for sure.
Okay. Well, then thank you. That puts the rest of the question that we had in my household. We weren't sure. But let me tell you guys, worth the watch. Ed Gein story. I'm sorry. I'm reminded because this was all like, that's one part of the show without giving too much out, is it really shows how much Ed Gein influenced so many different stories. It was really cool.
So you're saying Ed Gein influenced House of Thousand Corpses? Like, what are you saying?
I think so.
What is our connection here?
Definitely with him wearing who tucks you in when he's wearing he's give daddy a kiss when he's wearing his dad's face with the chest. He literally cut off his dad's face, her dad's face, and wore it. Otis did.
All right, so in House of Thousand Corpses, the character of Otis, yes, one of the Firefly family, totally cut off the dude's face, and his daughter is who he's held captive. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
And you think that's inspired by Ed Gein?
1,000,000,000%. 1,000,000,000%.
All right.
Like,
all right.
dude,
there was a bunch of articles saying that anyone who enjoys watching Monster Ed Gein might be a psychopath.
Well, I might be a psychopath because I enjoyed it. Let me tell you, they definitely took a lot of liberty when it came to the truth, but they played it.
I haven't seen it yet.
They did, but they definitely, the whole time you're going to be questioning, is this real? Because it plays on the fact that he is just the craziest schizophrenic who ever lived.
So it's jumping into what, his perspective a little bit?
Yes, very much so. So it's like, what's real? What's just what he thinks is real? It's a wild ride. You'll be questioning it the entire time from beginning to end.
Okay, well, unrelated to Monster, check out Rob Zombie's new album, The Great Satan, when it comes out.
It'll be great.
It'll be great. Oh, man. But you know what's not great, Ryan?
Oh, no.
Random celebrity deaths.
Damn.
Now, it's a part of life. We all die. It's gonna happen. I personally have a lot of issues with how I'm gonna deal with that. I don't really want to not exist, but it's gonna happen to us all.
And I already have a plan for when you go, Joe. We will make it great.
Okay, cool. Is it popping me up like a puppet?
Oh,
Because
yes,
I kind of
like
want to
Nick
be like,
Swardson.
yeah, like Nick Swardson, exactly. I want to be marionetted on my funeral, exactly. But let's talk a little bit about celebrities who won't have their corpse dangling from some strings to amuse us.
Unfortunately.
On this week's
Remember that guy? Remember that gal? Well, now they're dead.
Diane Keaton, a Hollywood legend, has sadly passed away. CNN confirmed today that Diane Keaton has died at the age of 79. At present, the cause of death for Diane Keaton is unknown. Her long and versatile career as an actress, producer, and director was undeniably highlighted by her Academy Award-winning performance as Woody Allen's titular love interest in the actor, writer, director's 1977 romantic comedy, Annie Hall. Keaton, who never married, is survived by her adopted daughter, Dexter, and son, Duke.
Yeah. So Diane Keaton, definitely a Hollywood legend. I mean, she's been around and she's so famous. I don't really think we have to go too much into what she's done, but I mean, 79 is a good run. I feel like everybody should make it to their 80s unless you're completely unhealthy and miserable. But 79 ain't bad. You know what I mean? And when it says her cause of death is undisclosed, I feel like when you're in your late 70s, it doesn't really need to be disclosed. I mean, unless it's something ridiculous, like she jumped out of a plane.
I mean,
Like, she was running with the bulls and just at 79 couldn't keep up.
what a badass.
What a badass.
But no, what a legacy. Like, that's the
Yeah.
one word I really like is legacy. You left something behind that you live on forever.
I have to agree. There are some films that came out in the 1920s that I still watch. But granted, I'm a film person and most people don't. But it's safe to say that 100 years from now, her name will be remembered. There'll be some new Joe Wakefield out there watching her films.
That's right.
So, I mean, an impact for sure.
Oh, big time, man. Like, she'll never die. And that's the way these things go. And that's why it breaks our hearts. And like, did we actually get to meet them, shake their hand, get to know them? No, but we did through their work, through their art.
We invited them into our household every time we popped in a
That's
movie or
right.
hit a streaming play,
100%, dude. And that's why we mourn the death of these icons, man.
So pour one out for Diane Keaton. You lived a good life, and thanks for all your work.
So that brings us to Drew Struzan. Legendary movie poster artist Drew Struzan passed away on October 13th at the age of 78. Here's a quote. It is with a heavy...
Diane Keaton beat you.
That's right. It is with a heavy heart that I must tell you that Drew Struzan has moved on from this world as of yesterday, noted a message on Struzan's social media. I feel it is important that you all know how many times he expressed to me the joy he felt knowing how much you all appreciated his art. Struzan painted indelible posters over 150 films, including Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, Harry Potter, Blade Runner, E.T., The Goonies, First Blood, and The Shawshank Redemption.
So yeah, just a couple films.
I literally can think of his work completely now. I know exactly who did it.
Yeah, that's why we had to bring him up on this episode,
my
man.
Gosh.
Like, wonderful, wonderful artist.
He also created iconic artwork for many genre films. For more on Struzan's life, work, and impact, the 2013 documentary, Drew, the Man Behind the Poster, is currently streaming on Fandango, At Home, and Canopy.
Yeah, it's one word. Fandango at Home, or that's what it is.
Oh, that's right.
It used to be called Voodoo.
Yes,
Yeah.
I forgot it changed.
It's just, Fandango at Home is such a shitty name, but whatever.
What can you do?
What can you do? So, hey, like Ryan mentioned, we've all seen these posters, and he will be missed. I mean, at least his work will be, for sure.
Oh, dude, I would get it tattooed on me.
I would too. It's amazing the
It's
things
so
he did.
good.
And I would love for a film I do in the future at some point being drawn in that style. Absolutely.
Oh, and I'm sure there's so many people who idolized him. So hopefully we have a few people who are going to do that.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that is it for Well, Now They're Dead. And that brings us to our final section of the show, our headlines. So please enjoy what I just said on this week's Earthling Entertainment Headlines.
M. Night Shyamalan to direct Magic 8 Ball TV series.
Finally.
This comes to us from Nerdist.com. The Magic 8 Ball has been around for years. Seeking some advice? Have a burning question about your future? Want to know if your crush really likes you? All can be answered by consulting the Hypnotoad. Oh, I'm sorry, the Magic 8 Ball.
That's right.
Soon, the popular fortune-telling toy will hit our TV screens. M. Night Shyamalan announced Monday that he will be teaming up with Emmy-winning writer Brad Falchuk.
Falchuk?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's Falchuk.
Falchuk. From Glee, American Horror Story, or Pose, and Mattel to direct a live-action scripted Magic 8 Ball series. The Academy Award-nominated director announced the upcoming series in an Instagram post on October 13th. Been working on this for a couple years. Who's in? Said Shyamalan. The post showcased the front page of the script for the pilot episode of Season 1. Naturally, a Magic 8 Ball can also be seen peeking in from the top corner. In an official statement by Mattel, the series aims to reimagine the classic Magic 8 Ball as the centerpiece of a high-concept, character-driven supernatural drama that blends psychological intensity with cultural intrigue. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah. It's a good quote, though. It's like a very executive quote.
Very.
Like, here's our official synopsis.
Did we send it through enough Westerners?
Yeah, we've had 4 lawyers and 3 Harvard writers check it out.
Definitely. Shyamalan is well known for his strange, thought-provoking concept and twist endings. His past work includes The Sixth Sense, Split, Signs, and Old. Knowing that this
And Avatar, The Last Airbender, which was probably the worst adaptation of any cartoon ever made.
I mean, you can
He
only...
changed the name of the fucking characters, Ryan. Like, the name of the character is spoken in like 100 episodes, and it's Aang. And then he makes his movie, and he's like, my name is Ung. Did you even watch the show? It's not important. Move on. Magic 8 Ball, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Just bring in, Captain Planet already. So knowing that this project will have similar supernatural aspects, we can expect it to follow in typical Shyamalan style. The Magic 8 Ball has been a pop culture phenomenon for 75 years.
Damn.
Selling 1 million units
That's
annually.
4 years younger than Diane Keaton.
That's right. That's right. I bought my kids a Magic 8 Ball. According to Mattel, it remains a symbol of curiosity and fun. You simply ask your question, shake the oversized ball, and watch as your answer is revealed. It's not shocking to see the popular toy reimagined in on-screen form. As of late, Mattel has been notorious for pumping out toy-to-screen adaptations, such as the very impactful Barbie movie in 2023. Will the Magic 8 Ball adaptation have the same impact? Hold on, I'm shaking it. Will it have the same impact?
Will it? Will it?
Ask again later.
Chances are, unless you're casting Margot Robbie, probably not.
Well,
I mean, it doesn't hurt, is all I'm saying. I don't know if she is as big of a star or draw as she was then or has been in the past, but let's be honest. Margot Robbie as the titular Barbie would be it's different than a Magic 8 Ball. And plus, this is a TV show. I don't know. It's tough to say. It feels like it's just going to be. If I don't want to talk down on it because it could be really cool, but it feels like it's just going to be like one of those situations like Wishmaster, right? Like someone's going to ask a question and then it's going to be yes, but then it'll happen in a way that's not the way it's supposed to.
I thought the same thing.
Right? Yeah.
No, you know who needs to be in it, and I always forget her name, so please help me. The girl from Parks and Rec, like the creepy
Amy
girl.
Pohl?
No, the creepy girl.
Oh, Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza, I think
Audrey
would be.
Plaza.
Yeah, she'd be
Aubrey.
great for this.
Yeah, she really would be.
I really think so.
Well, you know what? I always forget because I rewatched recently. There was a Mark Hamill starring Chucky where he played Chucky, and Aubrey Plaza was the mom. And
yes,
that surprised me.
And she did a great job.
She did. I guess we're just fans of Aubrey Plaza. Maybe not the Magic 8 Ball series.
I'm just saying I could see her because it's like arguably there is a creepiness to it, but there's also a silliness to it, and I think that she could do both.
Well, you know, if you can strike a balance between comedy and whatever you're doing, whether it's horror, action, I think it's good. I think it's good to have levity in your stories. So hopefully when M. Night does this Magic 8 Ball series, he takes that approach. He takes a little bit of, we're not making Evil Dead, we're making Evil Dead 2. You know what I mean? We're making it a little bit more fun. I want the fun.
Yeah, if it was more goofy, almost satire kind of.
Yeah, like I think horror comedy is something that does not exist enough in the television realm.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
You know me, I've kind of fallen off of new series for the most part anyway.
What about old series that are coming back?
What kind?
Well, you know, there was this little movie that came out in 1995 called Mortal Kombat. And you know that little movie was based on a little video game franchise. Well, and I think 2002, they remade it. They had a new Mortal Kombat.
Toasty.
Yeah, and the next one's coming out, Carl Urban. But, you know, it's not out yet, but that hasn't stopped the filmmakers and studio from announcing a third installment.
Mortal Kombat 3. Confirmed to be in the works at New York Comic Con. This comes to us from IGN.com. Announced at the New York Comic Con panel for the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2, screenwriter Jeremy Slater confirmed that he was already in the process of writing a script for the third movie. Our friends at New Line and Warner Brothers are so happy with this movie, said Slater, who penned Mortal Kombat 2. They are so excited. They are so convinced that there is a giant fan base waiting for it. They've already hired me to start writing the next installment.
I mean, that does show confidence. Now,
That's exciting.
Well, granted, hiring a screenwriter isn't that much money because, you know, even the highest paid screenwriter to a studio who pays $200 million to make a movie, it's not a lot. But it does show confidence that they're like, yeah, let's get a third one working. And what I like about this is it also means if the second film is a success and they decide to put this third one into production, we won't have to wait as long, which is a big thing.
That's a big thing. You know, we get to test our might. But first, Mortal Kombat 2, the sequel to the 2021 movie, will release May 16th, 2026.
Damn, it's 2021. I thought it was 2022.
After being pushed back from its original fall 2025 date. Director Simon McCoy addressed the date change at the NYCC, calling the movie a victim of its own success. a sentiment he had expressed over the summer after seeing the reaction to the movie's test screenings. Here's a quote. "Every time people have seen this movie, it gained momentum," McQuaid said. "We created a massive summer blockbuster. We should be proud of the fact that Mortal Kombat as the movie and the franchise is just gonna kick off summer next year. Yes, we have to wait, but it's gonna feel massive. That's the reason."
I mean, I was pissed because it was supposed to be out like now or soon or around this time.
I think that.
Yeah, well, the fact that they pushed it to the summer is a big vote of confidence, because the bottom line is movies tend to be dumped in January and February when they don't believe they're going to do very well. The summer films are for films they do think will do well. Same with like December, because Christmas time, holiday time is also a great time for movies. That's why you get your Star Wars, your Avatar coming out in Christmas.
Yeah, and they tend to do it like in November, right?
But
like they're
around Christmas.
But there's a lot of movies that release on Christmas because there's so many family traditions where they literally on Christmas Day you go to the movies.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Exactly. So the fact that we have to wait another half a year for this film sucks, but I'm excited that they're excited, because at the very least, even if not everyone likes this movie, you could assume it's not bad. It's at least entertaining if the studio thinks if it's worthy of a summer blockbuster.
All of a sudden you have a movie theater. Get over here. So Carl Urban, who plays Johnny Cage, joins Slater and McQuaid at the panel. While there, they screened a behind-the-scenes featurette. It's our first look at a fight scene between Baraka and Johnny Cage, who shows up with Liu Kang, Sonya, and Jax. I can't say it without that voice. In tow to convince Baraka that they should team up against the villain Shao Kahn. It's basically Johnny Cage's don the batsuit moment with his iconic sunglasses. And may I add, nut punch.
Yes, he did have a move where he would do the splits and punch you right in the balls.
Let me tell you.
I think it's really interesting, because in the first Mortal Kombat movie in 95 and its sequel that came out in 97, which was Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Liu Kang was the main character. And I would argue that at least the first couple games, Liu Kang was the main character. Well, they made up a brand new character for the 2021 film called like Cole or something like that.
Yes.
And he was like a descendant of Scorpion.
And if you're a fan of Fairly Odd Parents, his power was basically to be the bronze kneecap.
Fair enough. Well, this character was supposed to be like a surrogate for the audience to bring him into the world, but he didn't resonate. And the bottom line is, a lot of people who love the games were like, why should we care about this random character? So I think it was smart, but also interesting to switch gears so hard. And now in the sequel, Carl Urban's Johnny Cage is going to be the main character.
It makes sense. He's so charismatic.
The actor?
I mean, yes, he is.
Yeah.
But
he
also
was one of the
character.
riders of Rohan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But I mean the character, though, of Johnny Cage. He's like the most charismatic.
Yeah, but are we just... Okay, let me ask you something. I'm not trying to get into politics or anything like this right now, but the simple fact is it because it's a white dude and not an Asian dude?
I thought it was always supposed to be a white dude.
No. I'm saying Johnny Cage, making him the main character instead of Liu Kang or the character that created Cole. Is that what we're going with? Because Johnny Cage has never been the main character.
No, it was always Sonya with Raiden and of course Liu Kang. Those were usually the trio of the main characters. But Johnny Cage was always there, and they gave Jax...
He's very cool.
And Jax had a big role in the original Mortal Kombat movies.
No, he did not. He was not even in the first one.
Didn't he have like the arms that he took off?
Yeah, that was the second film.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Jax was the main character. For sure.
Yeah. And he was like, I'm going to take these off, blah, blah. And he like fucked the dude up without him.
I think it's funny because in that second film, in that 1997 film, they were like metal armor over his arms. And no, that's not how it is, dude. He got his arms ripped off, and they're cybernetic arms. They are not just little metal sleeves he wears.
Fatality. Like, right? No, I agree. But no, though I'll agree. those first two films, those original first two, are my Mortal Kombat. But I did like the last one. I'm looking forward very much to the second, and I'm excited that they've got a third coming.
No, and me too. And I really like this that 2021 film as well. My favorite part is, basically Sub-Zero F's the dude up, Scorpion. There's blood that squirts out. So Sub-Zero freezes the blood and then stabs Scorpion
Yes.
with his own
It was
bloodsicle.
badass.
So, I mean, there's some good stuff. Even though it was weird that the first Mortal Kombat movie in the 2021 film didn't actually have Mortal Kombat, it was all them being like, we're gonna have a tournament.
But I kind of like how they came out with the fatalities, like their special abilities. How Kano, what was it? It was over an egg roll, wasn't it? It was over like a piece of food, and he was just like, "Give me the damn egg roll!" And then he shot out a laser
out of his eye.
yeah, and it was like, "Ha! That's how I get it."
Well, guys, if you're a fan of the Mortal Kombat franchise or just action films with a little bit of a sci-fi twist, make sure to check it out and celebrate, because apparently the studio believes enough in it that they've already greenlit a third one. So, well, I shouldn't say greenlit a third one. They've already started work on a third one. Very cool.
And talking about franchises which just seem to keep on going and going and getting so much more fan base and just are a powerhouse, that brings us to our next article here. Mattel meets H.R. Geiger with stunning new alien doll from Monster High Collection. Just what your daughter needs.
I gotta hand it to him. It's like, you knew when Disney acquired Fox that they were gonna do some weird shit, but once the Alien Queen became a Disney princess, y'all should have seen this coming, is all I'm saying.
Well, this comes to us from BloodyDisgusting.com. Mattel's Skullector wave of their Monster High line has proven to be a treasure trove of incredible dolls based on horror proprieties, with movies including The Lost Boys, Bride of Chucky, Jordan Peele's Us, and Megan getting their own Monster High dolls in recent years. Up next, Mattel's Creations has whipped up what is possibly the coolest Monster High doll of all time, with a terrifically reimagining of the Xenomorph from the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I wouldn't be the first one I'd think of. And I guess I get it, right? Like, we got Dracula, we got Frankenstein, we got all these things. Nickelodeon did 2 Monster High movies. There's a Monster High cartoon. So it's like, even though I don't have daughters and clearly it's not my fandom, I get it. Okay. It's the fun big thing. So to incorporate brutal actual horror movies and then be like, let's make a cutesy little doll out of this. I guess I tip my hat to the creativity.
I love it. Do you think that when the Xenomorph poops, a little butt comes out?
Yes.
And I imagine it being like a little cartoonish human butt.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
On October 17th.
On a stalk. I understand what you meant. Yeah, continue.
Mattel Creations is unleashing the Monster High Skullector, the alien doll, which collides pop culture with Monster High's signature alien glam aesthetic, creating a must-have for alien fans this Halloween season. This elegantly designed doll pays tribute to the iconic Xenomorph, blending sci-fi inspiration with high fashion.
Finally.
It features a sheer black dress with subtle exoskeleton-inspired embellishments and a headpiece that echoes the creature's elongated skull. With refined detail and a unique aesthetic, this release offers a fresh take on a pop culture legend and is ideal for collectors and fans of science fiction.
I mean, I gotta be honest, that's what this is created for. It's created for weird horror collectors like me. It's not like anyone who actually collects Monster High dolls as a child who's like, I love these, is gonna want
scary.
this. Yeah. This is like when Barbie came out with Princess Di. It's for the old collector, not for the kids.
I have to agree, but I mean, it seems awesome.
It
This is
is-
a great idea.
Right? Fuck it.
Packaged in premium collectible packaging and accompanied by a certificate of authenticity, the Skullector delivers horror at its most stylish. That's a quote. Mattel Creation previews. We've reimagined the iconic xenomorph of the original film franchise in terrifyingly chick monster high style. This predatory creature is as nightmarish as ever, dressed in a sheer black and iridescent foil print top and skirt, plus a pleather bodysuit. Facehugger heels make the look even more killer.
I mean, you got to hand it to him. That'd be like, how do you incorporate the face hugger?
That's creative.
Make them shoes.
Make them shoes.
All right, cool.
You'll be able to get yours for a small price of $75 on the Mattel Creations website, October 17th. That's coming up.
Yeah, and as far as a collectible toy is concerned, $75 ain't that bad. I mean, Ryan buys like $120 helmets from Mattel.
I
mean,
do.
You know, so there you go. It makes sense. It's not like Hot Toys where it's like, oh, $1,500 for this Ray doll.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. I almost bought like the life-size Darth Vader like doll that Lowe's was selling for like it was like $300, but it had like little things where you could give Darth Vader a pumpkin or like a tree.
Well, you
and
should
stuff
have.
like that. I almost did.
You actually kind of failed as a man
You know what I'm
by
saying?
not buying
You know,
that. I want you to know you are now a beta.
I accept it. I accept it. You know,
That's what happens when you don't get a Darth Vader.
just like how you have to accept that Avatar is definitely the prequel to an amazing series called Captain Planet.
Yes, Ryan has been talking about this forever. It's his favorite joke that when we talk about Avatar, The Last Airbender, or any connected property, that he believes the power rings from Captain Planet must derive from the Avatar abilities, and therefore Avatar is a prequel. He does it to fuck with me. He knows I love this franchise, so he just loves to twist.
Fire, wind, water,
Heart.
go planet.
So, since Avatar in the whatever 1,000 billion years between the two series, I guess Heart just came out of nowhere. People learn to love.
Yeah, people learn to love. See?
Okay, I'm starting to connect the dots, Ryan.
And then they turn them in the rings.
Anyways, headline number 4.
Avatar, The Last Airbender expands its universe with a 2026 fighting game.
Kind of like Mortal Kombat.
This comes to us from GeekTyrant.com. During the 20th anniversary celebration at New York City Comic-Con, Nickelodeon revealed 2 major projects that will expand the Avatar, The Last Airbender universe, which includes a brand new fighting game and a 2D animated YouTube series. The panel was packed with nostalgia as the original cast were all there. One of the biggest reveals was the upcoming one-on-one fighting video game, currently titled Avatar Legends, the fighting game. The title will feature a roster of fan favorite characters, including... Go ahead.
All right, so we got Aang, we got Katara, we got Sokka, we got Zuko, we got Azula, we got Toph, and Korra. Korra's my favorite, actually, played by Janet Varney.
See, I would have butchered those. All beautifully hand-drawn in 2D animation. Each character will showcase their elemental powers in fast-paced combat.
Yeah, and so guys, it is like a Mortal Kombat. It is like a Street Fighter, right? Like it's a straight up fighting
Soul
game.
Calibur, yeah.
Exactly. But it is 2D animated, so it's got kind of like a Cuphead style. It feels cartoony. And what's really cool is when they do their special moves, if you watch the trailer, it's almost like a quick cut scene from the show. So like they'll be doing like their wind up, to before they perform the move.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. I wonder if during gameplay, if that'll get old. Like after you do the special move 100 times, if that'll get old. But beyond it, it does look beautiful, man. It reminds me of, Dragon's Lair? How it was straight up like hand-drawn animation, but it's a game. It kind of gives that feel to me.
So his name is Aang?
His name is Aang, yes.
It includes Aang gracefully airbending and unleashing the Avatar state, Zuko wielding his blue spirit mask and dual swords, and Korra bending all 4 elements with intense power. The game is set to release on consoles in the summer of 2026. Fans also get a first look at the chibi-style animated series that will debut on YouTube. These bite-sized 2D shorts will reimagine classic Avatar moments while introducing new lighthearted adventures from across the 4 nations. One of the premiere shorts revisits the first episode, with Katara and Sokka discovering Aang and facing off against Zuko and the Fire Nation in adorable, exaggerated fashion. These two new projects are just part of the growing Avatar universe. Next up is the highly anticipated sequel series, Avatar: Seven Havens, which follows the Avatar who succeeds Korra. On the cinematic side, fans can look forward to The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, set to hit theaters on October 9th, 2026.
See, Ryan, we have a new animated movie that is a sequel to the original series. We have a sequel series that is a sequel to the original series. We have another novel coming out that is, of course, about the Avatar Roku. Before that, we had two novels about Kyoshi, and we had two novels about Yang Chen. So, Ryan, let me tell you, with all of this expanded lore, by the way, there's about 1 billion comics I haven't talked about.
Yeah.
This is something you gotta get on board with, buddy. I can get you. I'll tell you the perfect entry point. I'll fill you in with all the backstory. Get on board. Get on the Avatar train.
I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed.
I'll tell you where to start.
I mean, so at what point did they become worried about, pollution?
What?
That was Captain Planet.
I hate you so fucking much. Move on to the next headline. We're done.
Stephen King novella Rat is getting a movie adaptation from director Isaac Esben. This comes to us from ScreenRant.com. A new Stephen King adaptation is on the way, this time based on the novella Rat, a shorter story from Stephen King's 2020 collection, If It Bleeds. In the 21st century, Stephen King adaptations remain as prominent as ever in the entertainment industry following The Long Walk's recent Rotten Tomatoes success. And honestly, I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved that movie.
It didn't make a lot of money, though. But you know what? It was a good movie. It was one of the 4 books that were the Bachman books. Yeah, The Long Walk.
Dude, it was good. And Mark Hamill is the man. So
can't even argue. I think Mark Hamill is a highly underrated actor, with the exception of like Star Wars. Everyone knows Star Wars, but it's like you got to check out some of his other stuff, man.
And may I say, on a random note, I was just curious. I'm like, what star has been in the most movies in this and this? And we found like a top 10 list, my girlfriend and I, just the other night. And Mark Hamill, I think he's pretty high on the list. He has so many credits.
Fair enough.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So back to this. So Rat follows writer Drew Larson, who is plagued by misfortune and retreats to a cabin in Maine. Where else?
Yeah, it's always Maine. With Stephen King, it's always Maine.
Where, in the grip of fever and madness, a stranger appears, an uncanny visitor who promises salvation and success for a price Drew can barely comprehend. Those familiar with the source material will know this as an excellent, dark, Faustian bargain story. The Rat movie adaptation will be directed by Isaac Esben. Though it may be a novella, it is clear from past projects that there should be enough material for Rat to be a feature full-length movie. Perhaps a shorter one, which is an appealing characteristic many films lack these days. Like many Stephen King stories, Rat is a bizarre and inexplicable in its horror, which is difficult to adapt, but could make for a stellar movie if done right.
That is true. And there's something to be said about like a nice compact horror movie. You give me a 90-minute story, I get in, I get my spooks, I get out. It's satisfying. I do love my Lord of the Rings, right? I do love my Return of the King, which is 4.5 hours. But sometimes it's nice to just be able to pop something in on a Saturday night that you could just, it's bite size. You know what I mean?
I have to agree. No, I have to agree. And it's funny. I just love Stephen King.
I do too. I do too.
I've read. I probably actually sat and read more of his books than many other than J.R.R. Tolkien.
Really?
And definitely. And I've listened to a lot of his audiobooks, and there is just something about Stephen King that always makes for, no matter what, it just makes for a great story. Like, and you can always tell because it's just so outlandishly just harsh. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
There's like a harshness to it.
I would say that Stephen King, stories aside, he's a master of characters.
Yes.
Like, he builds characters that you believe, and even the despicable ones, you understand their motivations. You
They're
know
so
what I mean?
formidable.
Ooh, it's just storytelling at its finest, I should say.
I have to agree. And on a side note, I know we've talked about it before, but The Institute. I don't know why that book stuck with me so hard.
It's on a weird streaming site. It's like MGM Plus or something. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but The Institute has been turned into a TV show.
That's right. We did talk. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure season 1 is out or has been out, and it's been renewed for season 2. So I got to track that down. I want to check it out. The problem with these small streaming sites is that they don't want to, because they're originals that are good, they want to hang on to. So they don't want to be like, oh, it's available on digital or it's available on DVD or whatever. So they just hang on to them, and then I never discover them. Because it's like, oh, that was a Crackle original. Crackle doesn't even exist. You know,
What?
Crackle, they made Joe Dirt 2.
Why am I reminded of Hot Rod, where he's like, "It'll be on AM radio, and we will rule again."
Yes,
Like, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good content out there that's just stuck on sites that are maybe not bad, but just not something you're going to sign up for or hear about based on one little show.
And that's where I'm at too. Like it's so wild. And on a random note, with sports being entertainment as well, I can't help but complain for just a second. I feel about the same thing when it comes to trying to watch football. Like, you need to
Well,
have like 15 different services if you want to watch it.
The
Like,
games, yeah.
dude, it's so crazy
Well,
right now.
You know, with the bottom line is when it was just TV, it was easy. You pop on Channel 7, you pop on ABC, NBC, they're going to play most games, right?
Yeah.
But it's like now it's like, well, you can get ESPN, but then Paramount Plus has some, but then HBO is, and then, yeah.
Dude,
Are you going to sign up for every streaming site just to watch your damn games or
No.
whatever?
No, we're just gonna maybe bootleg it.
Can you bootleg it?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah. We've been. Hey, you know what? That's my response. I hate to say it, but I mean that's always been the response of the people, where it's like, make it easy for me to get. I'll pay the money, but if you're gonna make me have to hop through hoops and hurdles, and I'm gonna have to sign up for all these things, there's this one website where I can just watch the game.
You know, I do understand. I work in the film industry. I have a lot of friends in the film industry. I do not believe in downloading movies. I did when I was younger, obviously, LimeWire, Kazaa, all that bullshit,
Mhm.
Morpheus, all of that. Like, I did.
You
did.
earned it. You waited days.
But but what I was saying is, when it comes to downloading that stuff, I'm not about it. But I do think the one exception is when it's not available anywhere.
Thank
So-
you. Yeah.
The thing is, like, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, which was like a Nickelodeon show in the early 90s, that is pretty much not available anywhere. You can buy the DVDs, but that is something I've downloaded. And like, you know what else is other things that aren't available? There's 2 sequels to the 1994, which it was a remake of itself, Angels in the Outfield.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, so Angels in the Outfield
It was
thr-
amazing.
Yeah, well, in 94, 3 years later, had a made-for-TV sequel called Angels in the End Zone.
It could happen.
Exactly. Well, Angels in the End Zone, obviously was football, and then 3 years after that, they had Angels in the Infield, which was the 3rd film in the franchise. Now, I want you to realize, Ryan, Christopher Lloyd was in every one of these.
I was about to say, I knew he was in the first one.
Now he's in every one. So they are worth a watch. Now, these movies aren't unavailable anywhere. You can't stream them, you can't do nothing. If you go online, you might be able to find like an old VHS.
Okay.
So I downloaded those.
I'll bet you did.
Yeah. So, my point is, don't download movies, but if they don't make them available, do what you got to do. So
You
I get it.
gotta
I
do
get
what
it.
you
So
gotta
watch your
do.
sports the way you need to watch your sports, Ryan.
And you know, let me just say the refs really came to play a great game at the last Lions game. The refs really did their best. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't watch sports.
well,
I don't even know. Are we doing well? I literally have no fucking clue. I don't
well,
care
we were
about
going
sports.
against the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Who-
I know baseball we're doing good.
No, actually, no. We just got dropped out. We just lost.
See, I don't know shit.
But when it came to the Chiefs game, I'm telling you, the refs really put on their gloves and they really came out there and made sure that we couldn't win. They did a great job. The refs were, oh my gosh, like
This
the
whole
MVP.
time,
Did
it
they
was
get a football?
setup. This whole time it was a setup.
Hey guys, did they make sure that they got a football?
All right.
No, they didn't.
all right.
Oh
So we
man,
were-
they should get game ball.
So we were robbed, is what you're saying.
Dude, not a single call on the Chiefs in that entire game. So for those of you who listen to this podcast and know sports, I know sports too. I'm getting
I
there.
think
I'm
there's
learning.
probably like 2 fucking people who listen to this show
For
who
those
are
two
like
fucking
sports.
for those two fucking sports people, you know what I'm talking about. Like
That's
can't-
right, Jim and Terry.
And the good news is Branch from the Lions, when they went to shake his hand, he freaking punched that dude's helmet. Like, get on out of here. And then it created this big fight, and it was great. It was awesome. I'm like, because I grew up on hockey. I'm like, yeah.
Pull his shirt over his
like,
head.
yeah.
Oh. Well, you know what? On that note, guys, it's the end of the show. So thank you so much for being a part of it. Please remember to download the episode.
Yes, please do. And I have a mission for you. Should you choose to accept it, is to share this podcast, this particular episode, please, with grandma.
Particularly.
But also with your coworkers, with your friends. Like, please, guys, like, word of mouth does so much for us. We do this every week. We try to have an episode every week because we love doing this. Me and my buddy Joe here.
It's funny. We try to have an episode every week. Ryan, you know we haven't missed a week in more than a year?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Every
Oh.
now and then we have like a bonus statement where we can't do it. But you know what?
Every now and then. It was once.
It was so
Once,
rare.
Ryan.
So rare.
Ugh. All right, guys. So from everyone here at Earthling Entertainment, thanks. And just a reminder, next week is our special Halloween episode.
Yes.
And I'm not going to give anything away, but we might have someone from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
He's not giving anything away at all.
No, to be fair, there's like 7 films. So.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
So out of all of those people who have been in all of those films, we have one of them joining us next week.
And let me give it a shout out to Lizzie, our producer, for hauling her ass for us. She's the best.
Absolutely. All right, guys.
See ya. Goodbye.